Hey there Windowers, and welcome to this week's Windows on Windows live stream. Thank you as ever so much for being here. I'm glad that you could join me. This week we're going to be doing something a little bit special. We're going to be celebrating the 20th birthday / 20th anniversary of Windows XP. So happy birthday / happy anniversary to Windows XP. With Windows versions, it's always a little bit weird with birthdays or anniversaries because for most of them, there's actually kind of two. So depending on how you kind of think about it, you could either, I guess, one way that you could determine when the birthday was is to think about when the actual final build of XP was compiled, as in the final build that was, released to manufacturing. So that date actually, you may have already seen this earlier this year, that was on the 25th of August, 25th or 24th? 24th, I think, 24th of August. So in late August 2001, that was the date that XP was released to manufacturing. So if you are one of the younger viewers, you may actually not even know what that means, because that doesn't really happen in the same way anymore. But basically what used to happen is when Windows was available on physical media, there were two releases. There was the initial release to manufacturing, so that was basically when the build was signed off at Microsoft, and then it was able to be sent to PC manufacturers. So companies like HP and Dell and so on, they would receive a copy of the operating system in order to actually install on their machines before they could then sell them to the public. So then after the release to manufacturing date, usually about 1 or 2 months later, there was then what's usually known as the general availability date. So this is the date that we're celebrating today. So for XP, the general availability, as in the date that you personally could go to a shop and purchase your own physical copy of XP, that was the 25th of October 2001. So this date was purely for basically consumers, ordinary people, to go out and, if they wanted to, if they already had a computer and they didn't want to purchase a new one, they could go out and get a physical copy on a disc of the latest version of Windows. So now that I've done my initial little ramble, I will now just say hello to everybody in chat, because I've not done that yet. So hello everybody that's here. I've seen quite a few people that I recognize so far who are regulars to the stream, so thank you so much for being here. So we've got Dominic, who's our moderator as usual. Thank you, Dominic, again for everything that you do. We've got Johnny here, Soulfur, Void Pointer is here. I've noticed Gareth as well. Solar Strike is here, and by the way, actually, Solar Strike has done a few streams, I think. Is that right, Solar Strike? You've done a few streams similar to what I'm aiming to do today. So Solar Strike has done sort of upgrading through different Windows XP builds, and I thought that was really interesting. So if you're interested in looking at some of these builds and you feel like you might be wanting more after you've watched my stream today, go and watch Solar Strikes. I think they're up on your channel. Am I right, Solar Strike? Did they go up after you've streamed? I think so. But if they are, go and see them, because they're really good. Okay, and hello to Noah, hi to Cyclic, hi to Gum, hi to Jason. Thank you all for being here. Hi to Tarek, that I've just seen as well. So before we get into the juicy XP-ness, I just want to also talk very quickly, so probably for about a minute, about something else, which is, I put a couple of polls on the YouTube channel recently about the stream, so I was kind of asking for feedback, I guess. Now, the majority of people, the overwhelming majority of people, said they were happy with the streams in terms of you're happy what day they're on, how regular they are, so every 2 weeks if you're not a regular viewer, and happy with how I do them, basically. So a few people did leave me feedback, and it was a minority, but I just want to make sure that people know how I feel about this. So some people feel that the streams are maybe a little bit too casual. I think that was the takeaway that I got from that. Some people think that maybe they're a little bit too casual / maybe a little bit too slow sometimes. So for example, every now and then I might stop to catch up on what's going on in chat. So there might be, a minute or so where I'm not really doing anything. So I just wanted to clarify basically how I feel the streams would work best for us. So from the beginning, my intention was to keep the streams pretty casual, just from the point of view that I'm just thinking, if you did want to watch a really ultra professional, really edited down, so you've only got the main points sort of video, that's what the normal videos are for, in my opinion. Streams, I like the fact that I can actually talk to you guys, right? So I like the fact that I can have a look at chat, people can ask questions, we can have discussion about stuff. So from the beginning, I always wanted them to be a little bit more casual. So basically, as I think is true for the majority of people, if you're happy with that, then perfect. That's great, and we're on the same page. If you're finding that's not quite how you want the streams to be, then Obviously, I'll do my best. I'll try as much as I can to try and accommodate everyone, but at the end of the day, there's always going to be some people in a minority that are not going to be 100% satisfied with everything, and it's impossible to, I know it's impossible to please everybody. So if you are one of those people that finds what I'm doing now, for example, a little bit slow and rambly, and you're not really interested, then that's okay. Like I said, I'll do my best to try and minimize it as much as I can, but just so that you're aware, I do want the streams to carry on being, you know, to have an element of being casual, basically. I don't want them to be ultra professional, ultra fast, and, you know, edited and scripted, shall I say. So yeah, thank you if you're still here after that little ramble. It's much appreciated. So I can see we've got about 36 people, so thank you very much. Thank you very much, Solar Strike, by the way, for the donation that I did notice. I saw it in my peripheral vision here, so thank you so much for that. I will come back to that in a minute, just in case you had a question. Okay, so shall we go to the virtual machine? Now, I haven't said what our starting point is, but some of you may have thought of this already. So we're actually going to start with Windows 2000. Now, I'm sure this needs no explanation. Oh, actually, let me just bring myself onto the screen as well. So Windows 2000, I'm sure, like I said, it doesn't need much explanation. So this is still, I think, one of the most well-loved versions of Windows. So Windows 2000, just to give you a little bit of background, and again, I'm not going to go into a tremendous amount of detail because we have a lot of builds to look at, but Windows 2000, just as a starting point. So this was the first release of Windows NT that was actually not named with the NT in the name. So before this, we had Windows NT 3.1 was the initial release of Windows NT. Then we had Windows NT 4. Then we had Windows 2000. So Windows 2000, in terms of the idea for this release, it was meant to be sort of the beginning of paving the way into Windows NT becoming the standard version of Windows for everyone, so for businesses and consumers. And part of that process was changing how NT was named. So Windows 2000 dropped NT from the name. It famously did still reference Windows NT on its boot screen, where it says it's built on NT technology. But yeah, we've got a small change with Windows 2000, and we're starting on this path to where basically XP would finally take us. So XP was the first version of Windows NT that was targeted at consumers. So this is Windows 2000. Windows 2000 was released, and again, there's two dates, but I think I'm going with release to manufacturing dates here. This was the 12th of August 1999 that Windows 2000 was released to manufacturing. And actually, I'm just going to check that because I've written these dates down, but I just want to check, is it released to manufacturing dates that I've written here? Or is it general availability? I'm sure that's released to manufacturing. Let's just double check. Someone will probably beat me to this, by the way. Let's see. So Windows 2000, what did I say? 12th of August. Oh, no, it's not the 12th of August. That was me writing the date in a British way, I think. Is that the 8th of December? I think. Is that right? In fact, no. Wait, now that I've said that, that's not right either, because I'm sure. I think that might be a compilation date. Is it? Yeah, okay, hang on. Okay, nobody panic. Nobody panic. Wikipedia. Okay, so Windows 2000 was released general availability to retail on the 17th of February 2000. So the release to manufacturing would have been just before that. So that was the 15th of December 1999. I have a feeling that date I wrote down was the compilation date of the build, which would obviously be slightly earlier. So at the very end of 1999, early 2000, we got Windows 2000. So I have customized this slightly, as you can probably tell. So it usually does not look like this. I've just applied a wallpaper and a theme just to keep it a little bit interesting. I've installed all the drivers that we should need going forward. So yeah, let's have a look at, shall we, our first XP build. So I have the disk in the drive already. The first build that we're going to look at is build 2211. So this build was compiled, and hopefully I'm going to get this right from now on. It was compiled on the 3rd of September 2000. Now I'm doubting myself again. Wait, I'm just going to double check. These dates I've written, are they British or American formatted? Because I really have to check this before I get it wrong for the whole stream. So hang on, let's just check. See, being a Brit, this is a problem that I encounter quite often because a lot of websites are written by Americans, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Thank you very much for your contributions, but the format of the dates is different, isn't it, in America? So let me check. Have I actually changed these into a British format? Yes, I have. Okay, So build 2211 is from the 9th of March 2000. I have converted the dates to a British format. Okay, see, look at that, ultra professional. So we're going to be upgrading, hopefully. Fingers crossed nothing goes wrong, but again, for regular viewers, you'll know if you're here a lot, things do tend to go wrong, but I promise I've done as much as I can to try and stop things going wrong, so hopefully we won't have any massive problems. So yeah, we're going to aim to upgrade all the way through from Windows 2000. We'll go through the most significant / interesting builds of XP. We'll talk about the main things that came up at different points in development and what was sort of going on in terms of, you know, Microsoft at the time, and then hopefully, like I said, we'll end on the final release to manufacturing build of XP. So let's start with build 2211. So as you can see at the moment, the upgrade process is exactly the same as Windows 2000. It's calling itself Windows 2000. So this is a very early build in XP development, so don't expect massive changes at this point. And I'm sure, again, if you're used to Windows development and looking at builds yourself, you'll know that very early builds usually don't have many changes. But there are interesting changes, which is why I've chosen this build. So just bear with for a moment. Okay, so we'll let it restart. While it's doing that, I'm going to catch up on chat. And by the way, for regular viewers, exciting news if you've not seen this already on the Discord, my failing hard drive actually died. So now I have an SSD, so everything's going to be, you know, like even quicker than normal. It's going to be amazing. So Solar Strike, thank you again for your donation. Solar Strike just said, happy 20th to XP. Pancake says XP-ness. I know, I like these little words like Vistery. Vistery is one that I use a lot in the Vista videos. Vistery. Vista-esque as well. I think I've used that one. Okay. Hello to CEO. Thank you for joining again. Don't worry about being late. You have not missed anything really, just me rambling. Tarek says that they are very interested in the streams. Thank you very much. I mean, I hope so. I try to please as many people as possible, but it's impossible to please everyone, isn't it? Gareth says that he was 1.5 years old when XP was released. Oh yeah, no, actually, I was reading some comments in chat earlier, and there were quite a few people that were saying that they were babies when XP was released. So actually, out of interest, and I promise I'm not trying to steal your passwords, but if you'd like to, out of interest, let us know in the chat how old you were when XP came out, and it's going to make me feel so old, because I was like, how old was I? I would have been 10. So I think I'm probably going to be one of the older people here, right? In 2001, I think. Okay. Right, now I think I did install this build earlier as a trial to check that everything was working, and I think it crashed on this screen, so I might just manually restart the VM here. It either crashed or it just took a very long time, so I'll just do it myself to speed that up. And we want to go to setup, I think. Watch me get this wrong. Yeah, look, I think that's the wrong option. Yep, that's the wrong option. Okay, let's try that again. See, I know this is why you're here. I know, this is really why you're here, because you want to see me struggle and get things wrong. Okay, we want to go here. Okay, so as soon as this is finished, I'll come back to this. I'm looking at it out of my peripheral vision here. I'm just looking at chat as well. Thank you, Dominic, for dealing with the spam. I missed that. Oh, now look, this is interesting. Okay, so, oh my gosh, we've got negative ages as well. Brilliant. So Nonj was -8 years old. Wow. Look, I just feel so old. Nathan was -1. Orbitron was -6. William was 2. Was anyone about 10? Anyone about my age? Solar Strike was 27 days. Is that what you're saying? 27 days. Wow. 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 Nobody. I don't think anyone was even close to my age. So there you go. Now I feel old. Tarek says, I love the startup sound. Yeah, now the Windows 2000 startup sound is my favorite Windows startup sound. Just a random fact for you. Oh, and look. Okay, little quiz question for anyone that's paying attention here. What have I done wrong? Because I've done something wrong. I've forgotten to do something. This happens every time. I was actually going to mention this because I do this so often. This is something that I've forgotten to do before you try and install one of the XP Beta builds. Thank you, Sky. Yes, I forgot to set the time bomb date, so I need to actually go back, restart, and go into the BIOS and set the correct date. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Look at that. I knew it was coming. I mean, I tried so hard to not forget to do that, but clearly that didn't work. Right, now I'm just going to go into settings because I want to double check I've got this keyboard shortcut set up properly. So I want to press F2. Yeah, so Command F. Okay, and then you've got to really try and spam this before it goes past the BIOS at the beginning. Okay, this is not going well. That is really not a good sign. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, I'm pressing the wrong key now. Like, what is wrong with me? What is actually wrong with me? I'll tell you what, if anyone wanted the streams to be professional, I would have a lot of work to do, wouldn't I? I was pressing Command R. Why was I doing that? I have no idea. I just don't know. Okay, so yes, with most of these development builds of Windows, you have to have your BIOS set to a date within a predefined range, and that's because the build is expecting, you know, to be installed on a certain date. So for build 2211, we want to set the BIOS date, and I have done this already in American format because it matches the BIOS format. It is the 12th of April 2000. So I will do that now. So we want to go back to April and then the 12th. See, simple. When you remember, it's simple, but remembering for me is quite difficult. So 12th of April 2000. Perfect. And then we just want to save that. And then when we reboot, we should get past that error message. Now, look, I clearly did that intentionally just to be educational for people that didn't know how to do that. Clearly. Robin says that they have joined the Discord server. Thank you very much, Robin. I hope you have fun there. If anyone else would like to join us on Discord, just go to windowsonwindows.com. All the links to all the socials are there. I'm on Discord a lot, but every day basically. If I'm not, you know, interacting, I'll be reading stuff, and it's really interesting. So yeah, come join us. We'll talk about Windows and all sorts of other stuff. Okay. Okay, setup is being restarted. This is a good sign, isn't it? So what we need to do is, shall I just do this? I'm only joking. I'm not going to do that. Okay, now hang on. What have I done here? What have I done? What have I done? I think I've used the wrong date. I'll tell you what. Shall we do this? Let's do everything wrong the first time so that there are literally no more wrong options. And then I would have to do it correct, right? Honestly, okay. Let's try this again with the correct date. I mean, honestly, you couldn't make this up, could you? You could not make this up. Okay, right. So 10th of March is the correct date for this build. The date I was looking at was for the next build, which is not helpful. It's just literally not helpful. Okay. Third time lucky. Now, who says that Windows on Windows streams are not interesting? Oh my gosh. Right. Anyway. Void Pointer says Windows on Windows run into a problem and needs to restart. That is how I feel. That is how I feel. And I'll tell you what else I've also forgotten. I forgot to bring my tea with me. So I don't have my tea either. So, I mean, I don't know. Is there anything that I've remembered? I've remembered to put the background music on this time because I have forgotten that before. So, I mean, you know, it could be worse. It could be worse. Gum says it's not a WoW stream if something doesn't go wrong. Exactly. I mean, watch. This error will come up again now because I would have done something else wrong. I'm on the edge of my seat here. Please just let's... There we go. Okay. There we go. So as usual, if you're not a regular, all of the problems that happen are caused by me, basically. So I have no idea why a few people have complained about streams. Do you? I just can't think what I could possibly be doing wrong. Anyway. The True Queen, hello, thank you for being here. I noticed that you posted a message in chat a few hours ago before the stream. The True Queen says, how are you? I'm not sure if you're asking me or just chat in general, but I'm good. How are you? How is everyone else? Did I even ask this week? I don't think I did. I usually ask how people are. Windows 7.7 says, you're kind of like Michael MJD. Is that because everything's gone wrong? Yes. Emily says, and when it works, it's cursed. Yes, that is also true. If nothing goes wrong, then things will end up being cursed, even if everything works, you know, correctly. There's always something, somewhere in a WoW stream that will not be what you expect. So yes, Gareth says, today was fun and busy. Gareth works in tech support, don't you, Gareth? I can't remember. Where did you say you worked? I can't remember. Was it Curry's? I can't remember now, but I know you work in tech support. Savvy Sage says, thank you for being here, by the way. Anything could go wrong. It's called a live stream for a reason. Yes. Yes. Although, to be fair, a lot of live streams that I watch from other YouTubers that I follow seem like things don't go wrong as much. You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe it's me. It is literally just me. So yeah, again, regular viewers will probably know that I don't know, I'm a little bit weird. Aren't we all, though? Everyone's weird in their own way, and that's good, because nobody is the same. But yes, I am a little bit weird. And forgetful. Now, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but you probably haven't so far, but like I said, I was running all my VMs previously on a failing hard drive, which actually did fail, I think probably about a week ago. So I went through that whole process. I don't know if anyone else has been through this, of opening up my iMac and replacing the hard drive. I was thinking about actually taking it somewhere to have someone do it for me, because the thought of doing it was quite daunting. But then I thought, well, no, I mean, it can't... I thought maybe I'm overthinking it, right? It can't be as difficult as it seems. All you got to do is take the screen off carefully so that you don't sever any wires. But then once you've done that, it's basically like just servicing any other computer, basically, right? Obviously just in a smaller space. But luckily the hard drives are quite easy to replace in iMacs, because they're literally, when you take the screen off, it's just there, like right in front of you. So it was quite simple. You just have to be very delicate, I guess. Hello to Enderman, thank you for being here. So yes, build 2211 seems to be quite slow at installing, doesn't it? It's giving me Neptune vibes here, because I don't know if anyone's installed Codename Neptune, but that takes quite a long time to install as well. Especially this networking stuff. I don't know why this takes forever. Enderman says, don't forget to sub. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. You are one of my favorite YouTubers, Enderman. And as you know, we will be technically collaborating, because I've got this video on the development of the start menu coming up. I'm still waiting for people that are asking about updates. People ask me about updates on this quite often. The start menu video is coming. I'm just waiting for one narrator to send me their files. I don't know if they've forgotten, or they might just be busy, but I will be messaging them very shortly. I thought I'll give it till the end of October, then I'm going to send them a nice message saying, please, can you just let me know? I mean, I'm not in a rush to do it. You know, I'll happily wait for however long it takes, but I'll give them a little, you know, a little nudge just to check that everything's okay and they've not forgotten. So, needless to say, build 2211, like I was saying earlier, it's a very early build in XP development, so it looks essentially the same as Windows 2000. The whole setup procedure is the same as Windows 2000. This is actually a good time to talk about Windows codename Neptune in a little bit more detail. So Neptune, again, if you're not aware, this was kind of in the original plan for bringing NT to consumers. So the plan was that Windows 2000 would be released, and then codename Neptune, that would be the first version of NT targeted at consumers. So essentially, codename Neptune, that was XP before XP. Essentially, it was aiming to do the same sort of thing, right? Bring NT to consumers. However, as things, this usually happens with Microsoft, plans changed. No one really knows exactly for sure why, but plans changed, and codename Neptune was cancelled, and the team that were working on Neptune were brought over and merged with another team to then work on codename Whistler, and codename Whistler is what would become XP. So there's only one build of Neptune that's available, which is build 5111, I think. Yeah, that is right, isn't it? 5111. There may or may not be other builds, we're not sure, but that's the only leaked build. And if you look in build 5111 of Neptune, you find quite a few things actually that ended up in XP. And that is no coincidence, because like I just said, the team that was working on Neptune was literally brought over to work on Whistler. So it was, partially exactly the same team. So a lot of those features did end up in XP. So probably the most interesting thing about this first build of Whistler that we're going to look at, build 2211, is that this has literally one of those things from Neptune that has literally just been brought straight over from Neptune, ported to this Whistler build. Now, I'm sure some people will know what I'm talking about already, but I'm not going to give it away yet. So I need to check now, actually. Do I need to, because some of these things you need to actually do some registry changes for, but I'm not sure if I do for this one. Let's check. Yes, I do actually. So, little plug here. This is not sponsored, but I have the BetaWiki pages here on my phone. That's going to help me with these builds. So if you're looking at running these builds yourself, if you go to BetaWiki, it's got a page basically on every build that's leaked and more. So on here, you can find basically everything that you need to know about running these builds. So if you need to, add a registry key or registry value, it will tell you on here, and it's brilliant. So yes, we're going to go to regedit. And for this feature, we need to add a key. So let's do that. So we want to go to local machine, software, Microsoft, Windows NT, current version, and then win logon. And this might give away what we're going to be looking at. Right, and what we're doing in here. So we want to go to logon type and change this value to 1. Okay, and then I'm not sure if we have to restart, but I'm just going to try logging out. I don't actually remember, do you have to restart or not? You may have to restart. Okay. So, actually, no, wait. You might not have to restart. I may need to add another user, because I've not done that, have I? Let's do that. Users. Users. Okay, there's 3 users already. Let's just do that. Okay. Perfect. Right. Let's try this again. There we go, perfect. I just needed to make sure that I had more than one user accessible. Okay, so build 2211 of codename Whistler, which will become XP, has this this logon screen. So this logon screen literally has been taken straight from Windows codename Neptune. So this is one of the features that was brought literally straight over. It looks exactly the same. So you obviously in the final release of XP, we did get what became known as the welcome screen, which was turned on by default and was basically a replacement for the old-fashioned Windows 2000 logon screen. So the Windows 2000 logon screen was just literally a dialog box in the middle of the screen, against a blank background. Very simple. Here you can see that Microsoft were trying to beef up the logon screen, right? They were trying to make it a little bit more user-friendly. So again, XP, it was meant to be the first version of NT coming to consumers, so they wanted to make sure that they had features like this, which would, I guess, make Windows a little bit less potentially imposing for ordinary computer users. So you've got welcome screen, we've got the old-fashioned Windows logo, so they've not yet changed to the XP logo. This is just using the the old Windows 9X 2000 logo. And yeah, click your name to start. Very similar in what it's doing to the final XP logon screen, just completely different. So that's kind of interesting, isn't it? So you've got your computer name down here in the corner, and then you have this little option to turn off the computer. Now if you press this, I seem to remember reading that it doesn't actually shut it down. I think, yeah, it says here you have to hold shift to do that. So you hold shift, then press the button, and it will restart the computer. I'm not going to do that now, however. And you can see we've got a user picture here as well. So yeah, that is essentially the interesting thing in this build that I wanted to show you. So yeah, what do you think about that? What are our thoughts on that login screen in terms of design? And I don't know, just tell me what you think. I'll be interested to know what you think. Now, while you are doing that, I am going to get ready the next build. So we're going to go to choose a disk image, and we're going to go to the next build, which is going to be build 2223. And again, we're going to upgrade straight to this build. So 2223, this was compiled on the 11th of April 2000, so about a month after build 2211 that we're looking at here. So again, we're not going much further into the future in terms of time. So again, this whole upgrade procedure is just the same as Windows 2000. They've not changed any of this yet, as you would probably expect. So let's let it restart. Okay, I'm just going to catch up on chat. Now, one of the things I did kind of commit to doing, I think when I might have been talking to Sky about this on the Discord, in terms of trying to make the streams a little bit less, so people don't have to wait for me to, you know, catch up on chat and stuff. I'm going to try and catch up less on chat, but basically, if you've sent me a message or a question and it's important that I've missed it, then just send it again. That's fine. Obviously, don't spam the chat, but send it again if I miss it and you just wanted to double check that I saw it. But I'm not going to go back and read everything just in case. Noah, thank you for reminding me that Enderman, yes, Enderman was the author of Windows CTAC, which I'm sure I'm still pronouncing wrong. Is it meant to be CTA? Is it meant to be pronounced? What is that? An acronym? Acronym? Is it? Or is it meant to be? Is it like Katak? I'm not sure. But if it is Katak, I like that. That's quite forceful, isn't it? Katak. I have no idea what that means. I'm sure Enderman can enlighten me. And I'm probably just looking really stupid at the moment. So. Okay, so CEO says the logon screen is very neat. Yeah, I mean, it's simple, isn't it? It's simple. Sulfur says the logon screen is simplistic but pleasing. Yeah, I think I would agree. That's a good way to describe it. Oh, and I can see some people are voting out of Windows versions. Oh, I forgot about this. We should do this, shouldn't we? Okay, so yes, let's do this from now on. Let's vote for the builds out of Windows versions. So build 2211/2211 logon screen. Out of 11, what would you give that, personally? Let me know in chat. So True the Queen says 10 out of 10. Was that 10 out of 11? Not sure. Ad says 9.73. That's very specific. Sky says 8 out of 11. Mod Point says 8.1. These are very generous. I mean, actually, that logon screen, if you look at Windows 2000 boot screen here, it looks like this, doesn't it? It's like quite white, which personally I quite like. In fact, I would probably say this is my favorite Windows boot screen. I just love this. I love how it's very bright and you've got like an element of the classic theme at the bottom. I've always loved that. And that boot screen kind of looked like that, didn't it? It would have matched well. If you imagine booting from that boot screen into Neptune. I've done it again. I'm sure people saw this coming. I have forgot to set the BIOS date. Do you remember me saying earlier I do this every time? I do it every time. Imagine me trying to record a normal video, right, for a series. I do this every time for every build. For some reason, my brain just cannot process that you have to go into the BIOS and change the BIOS date. Okay, let's actually do that so that we can install the next build. Okay, so build 2223, the BIOS date is the 9th of December. So we're going to need 12/09/2000. Okay, let's try that again. Greenlight says, I hope Windows on Windows doesn't blue screen of death again. Well, you never know, do you? You never know. So, right. Savvy Sage makes a good point, and yeah, this is fascinating, I think. If Neptune did get released, if it wasn't cancelled, we probably wouldn't have got Windows ME. Yes, you're probably right. It's so interesting, isn't it? Like one change somewhere could have affected everything else in the history of Windows. It's just fascinating, isn't it? Oh no, Solver says that's not the date. Oh no. Why? Why can my brain not process this? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. This is what I'm going to do from now on, just in case. I'm going to go to the BIOS, and someone may have to helpfully remind me before I leave a build to go to the BIOS. And I'm going to sit on this screen for maybe about 20 seconds, and I'm just going to wait for people in chat to just tell me what date I should be putting in here, because otherwise I'm going to keep doing this every time. Okay, so Sky says I got it the wrong way around. Have I, like, Britishized the American date again? Is that what's gone on here? So 2-2-3. No, I've used the wrong date. I have used the wrong date. It should have been the 12th of April. That's why. I promise I'm not doing this on purpose. Okay, 12th of April. Yes, guys. That's right. Yes, 12th of April. Okay. I tell you what, I'll actually, while it's booting, I'll show you why I'm getting confused, okay? Because I was trying to be really organized, right? And I wrote down a list of all the builds. And I'm actually not going to show you this because it's going to give away what we want to look at. But I've got a list here. Can you see that? Of all the builds. And the BIOS dates. But I've written the BIOS date for each build before the title of the build. So instead of reading the correct date above the name of the build, I'm looking at the date underneath, which is actually for the next build. So I'm like one out every time. I've got to stop doing that, haven't I? I've got to stop. So 12th of April, this makes more sense. Makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? Because it was compiled on the 9th of March. 9th of March. I've done it again. Oh, I just can't. It was compiled on the 11th of April. The 11th of April. Honestly. Right, anyway. Let's hope now that I've not put the wrong date in again. Can you imagine? There we go, look. So, same as for build 2211, we've still got Windows 2000 branding in setup, as you would probably expect, because again, we're still very early on in the development here. Sky, thank you for the tip. Power onto firmware takes you directly to the BIOS. Thank you, it does actually, doesn't it? I should do that next time. That would also save me a little bit of time. Sector Wire says, I told you to not get stressed already. I know you did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm naturally stressed. I stress about everything. I'll try not to be stressed. It's fine. It is fine. The True Queen says, got to go. See you later. Thank you very much for being here. I hope I entertained you with my endlessly bad memory. So, yes. I've got to stop doing that. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start crossing out these dates once I've used them. That is probably a very good idea. So look, I'm going to cross these out now. So 12th of April, that is being crossed out. So I cannot possibly look at that one by mistake next time because I will not be able to see it. There we go. So the next BIOS date is going to be the 9th of December. 9th of December. If anyone wants to periodically shout BIOS dates in the chat, that's fine. Thank you very much in advance for your help. Don't feel bad. Just don't spam them, obviously. Oh dear. Oh, White Bear says, I'm watching this on Windows XP. That's fascinating. How come you're on XP? Are you using it as your everyday operating system, or are you just playing around with it? Savvy is asking what the next few builds are so that they can possibly assist. Okay, I will let you know the builds. So, if anyone's interested, the builds that I've chosen, bearing in mind that I've also had to try and choose based on having a time limit. So, I'm going to be available for a good few hours, but I just thought I'd be careful and not try and do too many all at once. So, I've gone for the 6, what I think are the 6 probably most interesting builds. So, we've got 2211, 2223, which we're installing now. Then, we're jumping a little bit, 2410, 2428, 2481, and then 2600, which is the RTM build. And then hopefully, I think we will have time left if everything goes to plan. If I don't if I don't constantly get the dates wrong, then we'll have a look at installing Service Pack 3, and we'll have a chat about what the service packs brought for XP, and then we'll have a little chat again about kind of the last updates after Service Pack 3, which, I mean, it's not going to be anything significant, but it's kind of interesting, isn't it, to talk about end of support and so on. Thank you to Door. Oh, Door, you have 2 channels. Okay, fair enough. Door says you don't need to change the dates every time. Yeah, I know, but I feel like I have to do it because otherwise I'm not sure whether the date will work or not. So I just do it like out of, I mean, I'm saying I do it as a force of habit. Clearly I don't do it as a force of habit because I never remember to change the dates. But I'd like to think that I could do it as a force of habit. Solar Strike says, how far am I? Not very far, because I've made like, how many mistakes have I made in dates? About 4? Something like that. So we're just about to install 2223. So White Bear, who was saying that they are using XP earlier, I was asking what the situation was. It's my everyday OS right now, working on a little project related to XP's 20th birthday. Interesting. That's very interesting. Am I allowed to ask what the project is, or is it a secret? Very interesting. Solar Strike, are you doing something for XP's 20th birthday on your channel? Whitebear says, not quite sure what the chat rules are, so I'm not going to say exactly what it is. If you're on the Discord, feel free to post about it there, because I'll be interested. Send me a message, or post it on the server. Okay, so Solar Strike is doing an XP 20th sort of birthday stream on Sunday. Perfect. Okay, let's restart. Nice error message. I don't know why that was there. Why not? It's Windows after all. Dominic says progress bar go brr. Yes. That progress bar likes to... Why am I saying progress bar? Progress bar likes to get stuck, doesn't it? It does. Solver says, what did the error say? I'm not sure. I didn't say it was too quick. This boot screen, I could look at this all day. Does anyone else feel like that? I think that's got to be the best Windows boot screen. It's just so bright, isn't it? It's just so happy and bright. Greenlight says, progress bar 95. Good game. I love that game. I love that. So nostalgic. So here we are in build 2223. Hopefully, when it finally finishes booting. So I think there's a couple of interesting things in this build. One of them will be a very quick thing to talk about, which I will talk about hopefully, like I said, when it's actually got to the desktop. And then the other thing is a little bit more involved, but also very fascinating. So I will hopefully show you that if nothing else goes wrong. So yes, what is going on here? I hope this is just busy doing something and not stuck here, because that would not be helpful. Solver says, everyone get WoW to 10,000 subs. That reminds me, actually, yes, if you're not subscribed and you're enjoying this, please subscribe, because we are so close to getting to 10,000. I think we're on 9,954 or something like that. So it's like really close. So yeah, that's going to be really exciting. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Is this because, this could be because I changed that registry key, didn't I? That registry value to turn on the log on screen. It could be that. Now it might not like that because it's looking for a log on screen that's not here. What do we think it could be? So we'll restart. If it does the same thing again, I'll just go back to the Windows 2000 snapshot and we'll install it from there. I don't think it will really matter, it won't take too long. Let's see. It could be that though. Could be because I changed that registry value. Right, I am just very quickly going to go and get my tea that I've left in a different room while this is booting. I will leave this here so that you can see this in the meantime. Okay, I think it's because of that registry change I made. So, no problem. We'll go back to Windows 2000 because I've got a snapshot anyway. And it's not going to affect the upgrade at all. It's just going to be, you know, the same either way. We're just going to have skipped a build, but no matter. So we'll go back here. Let's do it here. So we're going to go to 2223. And I will have to change the BIOS date. Thank you myself for reminding me. For some reason, I thought about it that time. Look, things can change. Okay, so we're going to restart. We're going to go into the BIOS and change the date. Okay, and this was the 12th of April 2000. I'm just double checking. That was definitely the right date. Yes, it was. Okay, so we want to go to 04 12 2000. If I can actually... Why am I pressing the wrong button? Oh dear. 2000. Okay. Just going to quickly do a chat check in case anyone's screaming at me that this is the wrong date. No, I don't think so. Right. So, save changes. Okay. I don't know why I changed the date then, because I could have just started the upgrade and then changed it, couldn't I? Oh, well. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Look, at least you get to see this amazing boot screen again. Edward says, you can use the number pad when changing the BIOS state. I don't have a numpad on my keyboard, so I cannot do it that way, unfortunately. I've got one of these annoying little Mac ones, look. I mean, I know you can get one with a number pad, but this one doesn't have one. I mean, it's good for saving space, isn't it? Right, so now we should be good to go with installing this build. Let's double check it's the right. Yes, it is 2223. Okay, yes. Perfect. Yes, Orbitron, it's very annoying. I don't have numbers on the keyboard. No, I don't. I don't. But think about all the desk space that you save by not having a numpad. Okay, let's try this again. So while we're waiting for this, I may as well tell you this first thing about build 2223 that I find interesting. And the first thing is that it actually has, or either in or by this build, the NT kernel version has changed from 5.0, which was Windows 2000s, to 5.1, which is Windows XPs. So that change happened seemingly very early in development. Right, we do want to go into setup. Yes, that is the right option. So yeah, we'll have a quick look at WinVer, just so you can see that I'm not lying. Not that I'd lie to you, but we'll have a quick look at WinVer when we get in here. And then we'll have a look at the other change about this build, which again, some people might already be aware of, but I won't give anything away yet. Greenlight says, which was the first build to use the Windows folder as default? That's a good question, actually. I don't know off the top of my head. Does anyone know that? Because I think that changed during Windows XP's development, didn't it? Windows 2000 by default, it would install to a folder named WinNT. Wint. Wouldn't it? Orbitron says, are you still on 2211? I have actually gone back to Windows 2000 now, because I changed the registry value and then forgot to change it back and it messed it up, so yeah. Not that it matters, it doesn't really make a difference, does it? We'll just pretend that we upgraded from 2211. Nobody will know. Apart from everyone watching, but no, XP won't know. Right, I changed the BIOS state, didn't I? Yes, I did. I did. Gareth says, am I the only one who finds it funny that they are already planning for Sand Valley 3? Are they? That's quite far ahead, isn't it? Well, I mean, Microsoft do that though, don't they? Actually, I mean, yeah, they do. They, they'll have sort of a preliminary plan, a couple of versions ahead usually, but that plan doesn't always work out. Basically, does it? That's probably a fair thing to say. Somebody says, "Don't say my name." I will not say your name then. I won't say it. If that's what you really want. Right. Yeah, Emily, that's what I was thinking of when I was, I think I posted a tweet about this recently, didn't I? That some of the confidential Microsoft documents, basically, they were used as evidence as during a lawsuit that involved Microsoft. And this was the late 90s, I think, or early 2000s. But yeah, some of those documents they literally had a roadmap in for Windows versions. So, they included Neptune and then another version called Triton, which was meant to come out after Neptune. And obviously neither of those things happened in the end. The plans completely changed and we got XP instead. And a similar thing happened with, between XP and Vista, or XP and Longhorn. Similar thing happened there. Does anyone remember me saying how slow Windows 2000 setup is? It really is, isn't it? I mean, I know this is not technically Windows 2000, but still, for some reason, this setup, I don't know if it actually literally takes longer, but it looks like it takes longer because it always, this part here with this one progress bar takes absolutely ages. In something like, Windows 9X, where you've got the billboards, where you've got like the information to read as it's setting things up, that's better, isn't it? Because then at least you can read stuff to kind of be entertained when you're waiting for it. But Windows NT at this point, it's just like, nah, you don't get any of that. It's just, you just wait for this progress bar. That's it. Okay, what is my favorite Whistler build? That's a great question from someone that doesn't want me to say their name again. I don't know, actually. What is my favorite Whistler build? I'm not actually sure. I think the thing with Whistler builds is the things that I find interesting are quite like spread out among lots of builds. Does that make any sense? So like these ones I've chosen here, a lot of these just have like one big thing in them that I find interesting. But there's a lot of builds that have like one thing that I find really interesting. Does that make any sense? So it's hard to actually say, yeah, this one is my favorite one. But there's actually quite a few, as you can hopefully see here, that have a lot of interesting things in them. DJ Pillow says, happy birthday to Windows XP. Indeed. Happy birthday, XP. Right, we're almost finished configuring COM+. Emily says, my brain do be smooth. Well, that's more than I can say for mine, as you've already witnessed. Orbitron says, no one's talking about Windows 7's birthday. Ah, yes, it's Windows 7's birthday, isn't it, today? Is that the release to manufacturing date, or is it general availability? I think it's general availability, isn't it? Yes, you're right. How old is Windows 7 now, then? What was that? 22nd of October 2009, Windows 7 was released. In shops. 12. 12 is a little baby, Windows 7. It's 12 today. Door says Windows 7 saga when, well, I think we're going to have to wait probably 8 years until it's 20, aren't we? Maybe we'll do it when it's 15. Sky says, like I keep saying, 7 is not 12 years old, it's still new. It seems like it, doesn't it? It's just aged so well that it's hard to get your head around that it is actually that old. Because 12 years is old for an operating system, isn't it? Right. This is the moment of truth, I think. Will anything else have gone wrong? I don't think so. This is the famous Windows 2000 built on NT technology boot screen. Built on new technology. Yeah, I love this. I'm just going to keep saying it every time I see it. I love it. What is it about this? It's got my favorite Windows logo, favorite Windows font. It's just brilliant. I think you should be able to hear the sounds as well. So can you hear the amazing startup sound? Yeah, because I can't hear it, but it should be coming through to you. The best, clearly the best Windows startup sound that I probably just talked over. Sorry about that. Right, this is the point where it was hanging last time, and I hope it's not going to do this again. Please don't. Because I installed this build earlier and everything worked perfectly, so there's no reason why it should get stuck here. But clearly, if it was going to get stuck here, it would do it when I'm on stream, not before the stream when I'm testing it. Clearly, that would be too helpful. So oh dear. What's going on here? Surely no. I'm not buying this. What's happening? Is it just being slow? It has to be. There's no reason for it to have got stuck here now. No way. No way. What do we think is going on here? It says there's hard drive activity. Maybe it is just being slow. When I installed this earlier, I don't remember it getting stuck here, so I'm not sure. Maybe I just missed it earlier. There's definitely CD activity and hard drive activity, so maybe it is doing something still. Don't know what though. What would it be doing now? That's very weird. Okay, I'm going to give it a minute. If nothing changes, then I think what we should probably do is just install this. There we go. Look at that. There we go. Maybe it was just stuck last time. Maybe it wasn't that registry key. I don't know. I was going to say, worst case scenario, if that happens again with any of the builds and it literally will not install, we can just literally install afresh rather than doing an upgrade. That usually fixes problems like that. Anyway, we don't need to worry about it now because we're here. So here we go, build 2223. So like I said, quite a long time ago now, this was compiled on the 11th of April 2000. And like I also said, one of the things that's interesting here is that the version number has now changed from 5.0, which is Windows 2000s, to 5.1, which would be XP's. So yeah, that's the smaller of the two changes. Now the bigger change is, again, one that involves having to I think add some things to the registry, or at least change some stuff. No, not registry things, but you have to change some stuff. So this build of XP does have a very early version of what would become the watercolor theme in this build. Now, if you go into display properties, at the moment, there's no way in here to access this theme. Right? There's no actual user interface for themes anywhere at this point. But the theme itself and the code to run themes is in the build. So in order to see this early version of Watercolor, and Watercolor, by the way, in case you're not aware, but I'm sure most people will be, Watercolor is an early theme that was included in development builds of XP. So before Luna, Watercolor was, now depending on who you ask, I think this is probably true. Watercolor was always meant to be a temporary theme, while Microsoft finalized what would become Luna. So it was like a theme to kind of test out the theming, theming engine, theming elements, while they were working on like the proper theme, if that makes sense. So at this point in time, Watercolor was known as Business, the business theme. So we are hopefully now going to have a look at this theme here, if I remember how to do this. I think I do. So I've just got some files that are going to basically allow us to see what's going on. So we want to go into WinNT and then System32. And then in here, there should be a file called business. Yeah, here we go. So this is the theme file. Now, essentially, there's two ways you can do this. You can either literally, I'm just going to drag in this patched Ux themes thing here. So you can literally run the code in this file as it is without editing anything, and you'll get one version of the theme. You can also go into this theme file, and essentially there is code that has been commented out. So there's code there that's not normally actively being used by the theme file. So you can uncomment out all of that extra code, and then you can see a slightly different version of the theme. So we'll do both. So what I'll do is I'll take a quick snapshot here before we do this, and we'll have a look at the theme file as it is now without changing anything. So the Ux themes executable, all this is doing is just allowing us to load the theme, because that would not normally be possible in this build. So let's do that first. So now you can see this is the business theme as it exists in this build without any changes, and as you can probably tell, it's pretty broken. So if we have a look at one of these windows, firstly, there's obviously a new title bar here. Now this does look like kind of what would become the watercolor theme, right? It's got that, you know, obviously it's got the blue color, similar blue color. You can kind of see on the taskbar down here that we've now got more of a flat looking start button and flat taskbar buttons here. But apart from that, it's broken. Like, it literally is broken. There are no, you know, there's no window controls. There's part of the window chopped off here. So it's clearly not finished at this point, or else just corrupt completely. So yeah, this is the theme as it is normally. Now what you can do, and we'll go back to my snapshot, is you can also, like I said, comment out all of that, uncomment out all of the commented out code, and then it ends up looking slightly different. So let's now do that. So this file has all of that commented out code. This is so hard to say. Commented out code, uncommented out, or commented back in if you want to. Let's do that. So if we just replace this with this version, now you'll see something that's hopefully slightly different. Oh, no you won't, because I have to also do something else, which I have forgotten. I have got to paste this file in here as well. There we go. Right, let's go back to Ux themes. Where is that? I don't know. Where is that? There it is. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. That's what I meant to do. Okay, so now we've got a slightly different version of this theme. So again, it's still broken. And I guess depending on where on the screen you're looking, some parts of it looks slightly better. Like the title bar looks slightly better. I mean, in terms of like, there's no part of the window chopped off anymore. But as you can see, there's now these odd red sections here, which is a bit bizarre. Same on the taskbar. So again, this is not really much of an improvement. It's clear that even if this extra code is added in, it's still, you know, it's not finished. Definitely not usable, realistically. So yeah, let me know, what are your thoughts on the business theme? Let me know what you think. Vote out of 11. We'll go for voting out of Windows versions. Let me know what you think about this. And I am just going to have a quick look in the chat while you are letting me know your thoughts on the business theme. Let's see. And again, like I said earlier, if I miss any comments and you want to post them again, that's fine. Just post it again if I miss it. Thank you very much, Ali, by the way, for the donation. Again, I did see that earlier in my peripheral vision. Thank you very much. Ali says 2 decades of experiencing computing. Indeed, XP computing. Right. Okay, so Void Pointer says 11 out of 11. Why do I have the feeling you're being sarcastic here? 11 out of 11. Okay, Edward says 3. Orbitron says XP. Sky says Windows 12 Lite out of 11. Oh my gosh. Green says 7. Oh, we've got a bit of a spread then. Gareth says Sun Valley 3 out of 11. Nice. Nice. Arthur says 9.5. Dor says 2. Yes, that's a bit of a spread. I mean, the title bars are nice, aren't they? But yeah, it's clear that everything else needs a bit of work. Look at this though. Actually, I forgot about this. This is like the highlight effect that you get in Windows Vista when you put the mouse on things. Look at that highlight effect. You don't get that in Luna. Interesting. And on the start button down here. Very interesting. Right. Anyway, so let's come out of this theme, because now what we want to do is... Oh, and I didn't mention this earlier, did I? The taskbar is slightly different, even without the theme running. If you look here, these buttons are slightly more flat, aren't they? I don't think I mentioned that earlier. So there is a slight visual change here. So clearly, at this point in development, it's obvious that they were working on, you know, shaking things up in terms of the visual, you know, the visual elements of Windows, and they wanted to have this ability to have it themed. Okay, so the next build that I'm going to look at is build 2410. Now, I just want to point out that before build 2410, there are a couple of builds that are kind of interesting for a couple of reasons. So firstly, build 2257, that is interesting because that introduced something I mentioned earlier, which was in the setup procedure. It introduced billboards, basically, like you had in the Windows 9X setup. So those little pieces of text that would tell you a little bit about the new features in the operating system. So again, that's a move towards making XP more friendly for consumers. Yeah, so good move. And then also build 2296, that was the official beta 1 build of Windows XP. So we're going to go past both of those, and we're going to go slightly after the beta 1 build to build 2410, and this was compiled on the 8th of December 2000. So let's now have a look at what's changed here. So again, we'll do our upgrade, and in fact, let's do a snapshot just in case. You never know, do you? And you might need a snapshot. Okay, so as you can see, build 2410, the upgrade procedure has now been changed, and it looks awful, doesn't it? This looks absolutely awful. Microsoft Codename Whistler. Look, it's so awful, I was choking about it. Microsoft Codename Whistler. Select one of these choices. What would you like to do? Install Windows, use support tools, browse CD. Okay, we're going to go for install Windows. I mean, this looks slightly better. Now, immediately here, yeah, Savvy says it looks like a PowerPoint presentation. Yes, it does. It looks like one that you'd make in, like, primary school, right? Or, like, what is it, kindergarten, junior school? I don't know what you call it in America, but yeah. But here... I've got to try and refocus myself here. Okay, so here, this setup procedure now, it looks very much like the Windows 9X setup procedure, right? Same sort of layout. So think about Windows 95, 98 ME or ME setup procedure. You've got the sort of areas on the left that it's going to go through. You've got a little countdown timer. So it's clear that they've brought that idea over from those old consumer version of Windows into Windows NT. And by the way, if you've not seen this already, you will never unsee this. This Windows logo is stretched down here if you're running this in widescreen. And yeah, look at that. That makes me very, very nervous. Okay, so we're going to need a product key for this build, and I've not written these down. But again, BetaWiki is your friend here. Sometimes, actually, I actually think the BetaWiki pages for Windows XP builds don't have product keys on now that I've said that. So I will give you a handy alternative that I also use for my own videos. The collection book as well does a very similar thing to BetaWiki, and it does give you the product keys that you're going to need to get the builds installed. So let's do that now. So 2410. Okay, let's pop our key in. Gum says, now the logo's peeving me. I'm so sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned anything. Let's do this. Hang on. There we go. Look. No one has to look at it. Right. Let's pop our product key in. Now notice that the last couple of upgrades didn't ask for a product key. But this one is actually asking for one, which is also a change. Although, I mean, product keys themselves are not new at this point. But this is asking outright for a product key. Okay, so then we have this option to do a dynamic update, which I don't think was in Windows 2000. I don't think it was. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it was. But obviously we're not going to do that. Okay, so then we've got welcome to Windows Whistler Beta 2. Thank you for taking the time to install and test Windows Whistler Beta 2. So the name has still not been finalized at this point. It's still called Codename Whistler. Your feedback is critical to the success of this product, and we appreciate your efforts to help make... I was reading that. I'm hoping that it's done that so quickly, and that's why it's closed and it's going to restart itself. Am I right? Windows, am I right? Yes. Thank you so much for not crashing on me. Anyway. A couple of people have said there's audio lag. I don't know why there would be audio lag. Audio lag in what way? Is it is the background music cutting out or something, or is it the microphone? And is it fixed, or is it still doing it? Apologies if you're having audio problems. Door says, why was 2250 and other bills skipped? 2250 almost made my list for the watercolor theme, but in terms of trying to fit it all into the amount of time I have, I was just trying to be careful, so I skipped 2250. But just to let you know, I did consider 2250. It was very, very nearly in my list, but I went for these 6 builds in the end. So 2250, that is interesting in terms of it just has it introduces an early version of the watercolor theme, basically. But we will be looking at the watercolor theme anyway in this next build. Right, now hang on. Did I change the BIOS date for this build? Please, someone tell me I did that. I did, didn't I? Please, did I? I actually can't remember now that I've said that. Oh my gosh. Did I? Did I not? Thank you for still being here, by the way, if you're still here. At least 49 people that are here now. Hopefully you find this entertaining, even though I constantly forget to put the BIOS dates in. I didn't, did I? No, thank you, Juba. I didn't. I did not. Is that why I'm stuck on this screen? Potentially. It could be. So let's do the date now and hope that I'm not going to break anything by doing that. So let's go to power on firmware. Thank you, Sky, for reminding me about this handy little tip that saves you having to spam F2. Okay, let's do the date now. So we want to go for the 9th of December as the BIOS date. Okay. What am I doing? Why can't I use the keyboard? It's just mind-boggling, isn't it? Right, so, okay. So, American format. So we're going for December 1st, then the 9th. 9th. Perfect. Okay. And save. Now, hopefully that's not upset it to the point where it won't carry on from where it was, but let's find out. Thank you. Arthur says the same thing about the BIOS date. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I didn't, did I? Right. Sky says quack. Why is that? Oh, no. Why is it getting stuck here? This is not good. This is not good. There's no disk activity either, so I don't know why it's got stuck here. Right, okay. Okay, in the interest of saving time, I'm literally gonna clean install this. Because it will not make any difference anyway, whether we upgrade or not. So let's just clean install it. That's good in a way, because you can see what the clean install UI is like. So you can see at this point, Windows XP's clean install UI is basically Windows 2000s, right? But you can see that they have changed the name here to say Windows Whistler rather than Windows 2000. So the name has been changed, as it has been down here. And hopefully this won't get stuck. Juba says it always gets stuck here for a short time. Are you meaning here where I am now, or are you talking about on that black screen a minute ago? Because honestly, I think the last time I installed any Windows XP beta builds was when I did that series, which was about 10 years ago. I actually don't think I've installed any since then, so I actually don't remember. Windows 7.7 says, live stream, but things are going wrong. And then Solar Strike says, yes, that's just a WoW stream. You're right. Yes, you're right. Oh, dear. Now, it does sometimes get stuck on this last part for a little bit. but then hopefully it should move on to the next part. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll give it a minute or so, but I'm not sure how long to actually leave this to see whether it will carry on or not. But let's wait. Sky says, where's the extremely loud PC fan for old time's sake? I'm sorry, I don't even have that PC anymore. It's quite sad. It died in the end. I think the power supply died. The power supply died, and then I replaced it, and then that one died. So I don't know whether that was just coincidence with something else was also going wrong. I am not sure. Right, I don't think this is going to get past this point, is it? I have a feeling about this. So hang on, let's just try. Should we try this again? Shall I go back to my snapshot, or shall I just go? Let's restart. Hang on, we'll try this first. Right, we'll restart. Okay, was the BIOS date definitely right? Yes, it was. We want to go to setup. Yes. This is exactly what it should be doing. Yes, this is good. Starting setup. Is this where it was getting stuck? I think so. Please wait. Why? What are we waiting for? Ooh, it could... Okay, person that has written very helpful comment, but unfortunately I cannot read the characters in your name, because I think that's Korean characters, am I right? Probably not right, but I can't read those. But thank you, because it probably is this. Because Sky, who's probably going to say this in a second, has already told me to do this. Yes, I need to disable ACPI. I forgot to do that. That is probably why this is not working. However, there is another way you can get around that, isn't there? I'm sure you can press a key combination in the clean install setup to get to a list of options for disabling ACPI, I think. But since this very helpful person has given me that code to put in the file, I'm going to do that now, actually. So I will not go to the VM. I am going to take you to full screen me, apologies in advance, while I edit this file. Yes, let's do that, because I should have done that earlier. Okay, just talk amongst yourselves for a moment, just having a small non-commercial break. Okay, so we want to go here, and then edit. And yes, thank you again, Sky, because Sky told me to do this earlier in order to, you know, save me having to go through problems like this, but I actually forgot to do that. Who would have thought that I have a bad memory? Okay, so we need to just add this line to the file. I've lost this now. Where was it? Oh, I cannot find that comment now that I'm looking for it. Where's that comment? Where's that person's comment that I was just looking at? Oh, it's here. Ah, yes. Thank you. Thank you for this. So ACPI dot present equals false. Yes, I remember this actually. Yeah, some of these builds do have Windows Millennium builds were like this, weren't they? Sometimes they're funny about this. Okay, ACPI dot present equals false. Okay, I'm just checking that I've definitely formatted that correctly. Okay, quit. Right, let's try this again. I'll just take you back to the machine. Okay, let's try this again. Right, this is the moment of truth. And if it still doesn't work, then I'm going to try doing the clean install. I don't think it's going to, is it? That's so weird. Although there was disk activity for a moment. Oh, there you go. Thank you so much to the person whose name I unfortunately cannot pronounce, but thank you for your help. I would love to be able to read Korean characters, but I cannot. And thank you, Sky, for actually telling me about this in advance, and I just forgot about it, obviously, because I would do that, wouldn't I? Okay, so here we go. We're into the final part of setup. And by the way, can I just say, I love this little logo and animation. Can you imagine? Now, if they'd kept this Windows 9X logo, I would have loved like that to have been the boot screen for Whistler. I love that. Green Knight says we have one dislike, sad face. That's probably because I've put the wrong date in about 5 times. What else have I done wrong? Oh, I don't know. But there you go. I mean, this is just me. I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not. I'm going all... Why am I going all philosophical now? I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to be someone that I'm not. I do have a really bad memory, and I get things wrong quite a lot. It's all part of life, isn't it? Installing Windows wrong many times. It's should be part of everyone's life. Sky says it's weird how this logo is only used in this phase. Yeah, and it's weird how it's grey as well, isn't it? That's weird. It just seems like a random colour. Like, why not white or black or blue? Because they've got like blue, they've got shades of blue around here, haven't they? So why is it grey? It's just weird. Sulfur says, ew, 16 colours. Oh, it's nostalgic though, isn't it? I suppose. Right, so yes. Notice again that was like the 9X setup in style, wasn't it? In the way it looked, just like a blue version. And now we've got our first change to the boot screen. So we don't have the Windows 2000 boot screen anymore. We've got this, and I quite like this as well. What do you think about this? I quite like this one, this new Microsoft Codename Whistler boot screen, and it is a white Windows logo. I quite like that as well. What do we think? Let me know. Feel free to let me know your comments, or vote out of 11 if you like. Oh, Emily makes a good point. That Windows logo actually may have been quite a lighter shade, like a kind of a whiter shade of grey. But because of the 16 colours, it changed it. It could have been actually, yeah. Right, I'm just going to wipe my nose. Excuse me a second. It's very glamorous, isn't it? I have allergies. I don't know if I've mentioned this. I basically have hay fever, but I have it 24/7, 365 days a year. It's pretty annoying. Yeah, so let me know, what do you think about this style of setup? Because I quite like this. I like how it like harks back to Windows 9X as well. I always like that setup process, the way it's laid out. It's just very simple and easy, isn't it? I think, to understand. Where did it go? What's it doing? I don't know. It's doing something. It's reading off the disk, it looks like. Famous last words, it's doing something. Edward, I don't think it's crashed because there is CD and hard drive disk activity. But we'll see. I don't think it's crashed though. I think it's just being slow. Again, if you've installed development builds of Windows, you'll probably know that it can be very temperamental, as has been demonstrated by the ACPI problem that I had. They can be temperamental and slow. CEO says, hey Fever, how did that start? I don't know actually. I think I've had it my whole life. I think I've had it as long as I can remember, but I used to think it was normal to like have a runny nose all the time until I realized that other people didn't have that problem, and then I thought, okay, that's definitely not normal. So it's basically just like having a cold all the time. So yeah, it's not that nice. Okay, there is still drive activity. I know it looks like it's not doing anything, but it definitely has not crashed. Because there is disk activity. So don't panic yet. Do. Ooh, I'll tell you what we could do when we're waiting for this. Let's do a poll. What poll can I do? I've not done one yet. Has anyone got any poll ideas for the chat? Let's see. Let's do favorite XP theme that I've just thought of, first of all. Why not? Favorite XP theme. And a little disclaimer, I'm not going to include all options because I know there are many options I can put in here, but I think YouTube, well, YouTube does limit how many options you can have. So I'm going to go for this. I don't know why anyone would choose this, but I'm going to add it anyway because I like to be surprised. This one that I haven't mentioned, but probably should. Okay, so let me know, what do you think? Favorite Windows XP theme out of these options? And I'm just going to say this now, if anyone votes for business theme, I know you're only doing it just because it's the business theme, because clearly that is not really a sensible option, is it? Oh dear. Okay, let's see. I've not mentioned the candy theme, but the candy theme, in fact, I can't quite remember. Did this get leaked somewhere? I don't think it's available in a leaked build, but I think knowledge of the theme came from somewhere. So this was just another alternative theme that Microsoft were working on. Whether it was meant to be a final theme or not, or whether they were just using it to test out the theme engine, I'm not sure. But the candy theme, if you Google it, just Google Windows XP candy theme, you'll see it looks very Mac OS X-y. Interestingly. Ah, thanks, Johnny. Yeah, the candy theme, thank you for reminding me, it was leaked as part of the Windows XP source code. There you go. Yeah. Right, there we go. And as I assured you, hopefully, it had not crashed. It was just doing something. I think Solar Strikes had probably driver installation here, probably in the background, and it was just taking a long time. Right, poll options. Oh, now this is interesting. Watercolor and Luna are basically head-to-head here. That's fascinating. I knew that some people would vote for the business theme. Yes, I knew. Whoever you are, I knew it. And you've only voted for it because you know that it's not a sensible answer. Yes, I know. I know who you are. Candy theme. I'm guessing the people that voted for that are the Mac fans. Yes, I mean, I use a Mac, but I'm not an outright Mac fan, but I'm guessing. Mac fans. Going for candy theme. Interesting. I mean, watercolor's nice because it's simple, isn't it? It's not like Luna's very bright and in your face, but watercolor's quite subdued. Like, not the colors are not as saturated, and it's a lot more like the Windows Classic theme, isn't it? I guess so. Yeah. Right. Okay. So as you can see, we now have at this point a new out-of-box experience featuring my favorite, my favorite character ever. Merlin the Wizard. Why was Merlin not in the final build of XP? They replaced him with a question mark. Why? He's clearly... it's just brilliant. I love Merlin. So yeah, Merlin can help you with getting through the out-of-box experience. Although to be fair, it's not really difficult anyway, is it? But look, he could tell you about the progress bar. Look, he's happy to tell us about the progress bar. Merlin, check your facts. What have you got? Progress bar shows you where you are in this process. As you progress from screen to screen, the section is filled. See, so helpful, isn't he? Once you're finished, you will proceed to the new Windows desktop. From there, you can start using your computer. See, so helpful. It'll be great. Nice enthusiasm, Merlin. I love it. Are you done? I think he might be done now. Okay, right. Well, anyway, welcome to Microsoft Windows. So the top left-hand corner, we have basically the Windows Me logo, which is a bit weird, but there you go. Why not? Windows Me logo. We've got a little tutorial here on using the mouse. So yeah, I'm sure you can use the mouse. So yeah, let's go through this. So welcome to Microsoft Windows. Thank you for purchasing Microsoft Windows Whistler. During the next few minutes, you'll be guided through a few steps to enable the internet and multimedia capabilities of this computer. Okay, Merlin, can you go back down there? Okay, so when we're not connected to a network. Oh, congratulations, you're now connected. Brilliant. Product activation will just say remind me later. And that's it. You're ready to use Windows Whistler. Here is a summary of your activity. You did not register your copy of Windows Coding Whistler with Microsoft. That sounds that's like, ooh, you should have done that. Your computer is configured for internet access. Okay, thank you, Merlin. Yes, I know the buttons there, but thank you for your help. See, he's so helpful, isn't he? I'm almost sad to press finish because we're gonna not see Merlin after that. Okay, there is disk activity. Nobody panic. It's just being slow again. Merlin's fed up already. Look. So it looks like Luna. Have I clicked this properly? Yes, it's just being very slow. Although Merlin can be moved around. This is peculiar. Merlin, what's happening? Tell me what to do next. Oh. Well, that was rude, wasn't it? That was a bit rude. Nice error message. Yeah, okay. So let me just minimize this so you can see this properly. Okay, so here we are in build. What build is this? I can't even remember. I can't see it now either. Build 2410. So this has a few things actually, as you can already see. So there's the new setup procedure, new out-of-box experience, Merlin, clearly the best part. So we have, in fact, I mentioned this a minute ago, but this is the first build that mentions product activation. So I don't think the activation works in this build, as in it doesn't count down to anything. But obviously in part of that out-of-box experience, you saw it was asking about product activation. So it mentions product activation. So notice as well now the visuals have changed. So we have the watercolor theme set by default, which is that still second in the poll? Yeah, second in the poll. So watercolor set by default. And yeah, like I said, I mean, it's nice, isn't it? It's simple. It's not garish or in your face like Luna. I think Luna is quite, like, you know, polarizing. People either love it or hate it. But watercolor is kind of in the middle. Like, there's nothing really to hate about it. But you might love it as well. So yes, that's watercolor. So we have this new theme section in display properties, and watercolor is the theme set by default here. However, if we go to appearance, we do have some other options here. So watercolor itself only has one color option. However, if we go into here, we have the infamous, if you know about XP development builds, sample test visual style. I know it's just it rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? So if we apply this theme, this is sample test visual style, and as you can see, it's interesting, right? So I think the reason this theme is here, again, it's probably just something to do with them testing out the theme engine, testing out, you know, what can be done. So for some reason, the title bars are all glitched out here. Why is that? What's going on here? I don't want this active desktop thing here. How can I get rid of this? Desktop, web. I don't want that there. That's messing things up, I think. Right, hang on. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, now you can see the theme properly, the title bars. Yeah, so you can see, look, they're kind of playing around with shapes here, shapes of window borders and stuff. So yes, it's interesting, isn't it? There are two colors. There's Blue Lagoon that I've just applied, and then Chartreuse Mongoose, which is the best name for a color scheme ever, in my opinion. Yeah, so again, let me know, what do you think about sample test visual style? Let me know. There's also a new wallpaper that you might have noticed here. It's quite subtle, but if you look here, you can just about make out the word Whistler on this wallpaper here. It's just very subtle, but it does say Whistler as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. So we've got a new visual style, product activation, new wallpaper, setup procedure, and so on. Sky says, how did it enable active desktop? I have no idea, because I didn't press anything, did I? I don't know why it did that. So weird. Edward says, does this build have the run icon, a guy running? I don't remember, actually. Yes, it does. There you go. Look, nice run icon. Thank you, Edward, for reminding me about that. Not seen that in a long time. Leandro says, my favorite XP team is Zune. Yeah, I think that's my favorite one as well. I love that because I love orange as well. Black and orange go really well together, don't they? That's a good combo. Yes, so what did I say? Thoughts on this? Yes, I think Luna's won the poll anyway. 50%, that's quite a significant amount of the votes as well. So Sky says, ReactOS 0.4.15 out of 11. Nice. Now, also in build 2410, there is another feature which is very interesting, which I will now show you, which I have not mentioned yet. We need this. All that. Let's go to my computer. Oh, and new start menu. Look, I didn't even notice that. I'm so used to the XP start menu. New start menu as well. Ta-da! There you go. New start menu layout. Nice. Okay, so new layout here. If we go to the disk, I need to add this to the registry. And then, I've forgotten what I need to do after that. Do I need to do anything? I think I need to just set this as the thingy-mabob. Let's check. I'm sure someone will tell me what I need to do before, by the time I've even searched this. Log off. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Log off. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Thank you to Sky. I think it was Sky and Edward that said that. And Johnny, yeah. Look, guys, you know all about this already, don't you? You don't need me. You know this. Okay, so, yeah. So this is known as the start page. And you may recognize this for a couple of reasons. Firstly, if you know about Windows codename Neptune, there was a similar thing in Neptune. So in the leaked build 5111, you could activate something called the activity centers, which was basically the same idea as this. So this was an idea that Microsoft were playing with quite a lot, you know, to the point where this idea ended up in lots of different iterations in a few different versions of Windows. I mean, not final versions, but in the development of a few different versions. So it was in Neptune. It also made its way into early builds of Windows Millennium Edition. And as you can see here, early builds of Windows codename Whistler, which will become XP. And the whole idea is basically that, again, for consumers, it was about making the computer less daunting, basically, and just making it a little bit more easy, more user-friendly. So the idea with the start page or start screen here is to have anything and everything that you could possibly want as a normal everyday computer user right here. So you didn't have to go into menus, you know, you didn't have to click loads of buttons. Everything that you could probably want 99% of the time is right here. So you can see we've got who I am, link to the internet, which will take you to Internet Explorer. Once I've set up my internet connection, I'll just do this so I can show you. So that'll take you straight to Internet Explorer, and you can do whatever you want on the internet. Email will go straight to Outlook Express. Search will go again to search, as you could probably expect. What is going on with the theme here? Why can I maybe I should change this back, should I? What is... Oh, this is going to keep going to the start page now. Let's go to... What am I doing? I want to go to control panel and change this theme. Control panel, because that is distracting me. Change the computer's display. I'm going to go here. Change to watercolor. Okay, the title bars are still glitched out, but never mind. I'm going to just ignore that. Yeah, so you've got your 3 links there. Then you've got My Places. So you've got Documents, Pictures, Music, and so on. My Computer Control Panel. Control Panel was right there the whole time. What? I mean, come on. I'm talking about this concept of making Windows easy for people to use. Oh, and I just went through that whole process of getting to Control Panel. Why did I do that? I mean, honestly, it's right there. And look, help and support as well. Sky says, congrats, you unlocked Aero. Nice. Yeah, and then you've got, obviously, log off. Turn off. When you start installing and opening programs, they would list themselves here. And then same with documents. I think, can you change these pictures? I'm sure you can. Yeah, you can. Look, you can change these pictures, so you can completely customize this. You know, put your picture of your dog here or whatever, your family pictures. So yeah, that is the whole concept with the start page. And it was very similar in codename Neptune. Very similar in development builds of Millennium Edition, the builds that had it. And yeah, it was obviously something that Microsoft were really big on, based on the amount of builds it ended up in across different versions of Windows. But for one reason or another, they just felt, you know, like something about it wasn't quite right, and they just ditched it eventually. And going back to what I said right at the beginning, when I first was talking about this, the other reason you might recognize the start page is because of Windows 8, because it's not too far removed, is it really, from what Windows 8 was trying to do. The whole point with the start screen of Windows 8 was to have everything that you could possibly want on one screen. without you having to go through, you know, to the desktop, into folders. So similar, isn't it? Similar. Obviously, Windows 8 was more geared towards being touch friendly as well. So the way it was executed visually was obviously a bit different, but similar idea, right? Similar idea. So yes, that was the other thing I wanted to mention here, and this start page in this build, and I don't remember this personally, but I'm going with what I read on BetaWiki as well, is the only time in a Whistler build that it's actually functional as well. So yes, it is definitely interesting. Definitely. Okay, so that was build 2410. So now let's go to our next build, which is build 2428. And by the way, as usual, please feel free to let me know what you think about this as well. Vote out of 11 out of Windows versions for let me know what you think about this build. We're going to go to build 2410, not 2410, 2428. So 2410, just to remind you, this was compiled on the 8th of December 2000. 2428 is from about 2 months later, so 29th of January 2001, basically. Why is it hanging here? That's not a good sign, is it? There we go. Okay, so 2428, now if you have a look at this, you'll notice straight away that we have a very familiar, not exactly the same, but very similar and familiar background graphic, because this would be almost identical to the final background graphic used in the Windows XP logon screen. So yes, so you can see they've changed this again. We also have the new Windows logo, which debuts in this build of XP, the XP logo. So let's install. Same style setup as before, but the UI is different, right? Different. We've still got the old logo here, interestingly. They've not changed that. So let's go through. And again, it's going to ask for a product key. So I will just go back to my handy dandy phone, which had the collection book on it for all the product keys. Wait, what am I doing? I've got this tab open already. So 2428. Here we go. So product key. Do. Perfect. And I'm not going to download the latest setup files because that will not do anything. Okay, Juba says 8.1 out of 11. I see what you did there. Johnny says 10 out of 11. Cat Lover says love the new logo. Gum says the clouds are interesting. Yeah, I mean, again, the cloud thing is kind of Windows 9 XE as well, isn't it? Like the cloud's desktop background. Yeah. Thank you, Sky, for reminding me to set the BIOS date, which I would have forgotten. Thank you so much. And look, welcome screen. Slightly redesigned that time. Oh, I missed it. I missed the... Oh, look at that. I was going to set the BIOS date and I just missed the countdown. Yeah, so slightly redesigned. Reintroduction of the logon screen, slightly redesigned as well. Okay, so right. So for the BIOS date for 2428, we're going to need 30th of January. Right, so what is going on here? Hang on. What is VMware doing? Why is it not letting me click anywhere? Oh no. Okay, hold on. No one panic. No one panic. I think this could be an Apple mouse moment because I think it may have disconnected. Okay, now hold on. Hold on, hold on. No, what's going on? Why can I not click anything? What did I do? What did I do? This is so weird. Okay, so for some reason now, VMware has decided to completely control the keyboard and mouse and not let me use them in the VM. There we go. I don't know what was going on there. That's so weird. Right, so 2428 we want. Okay, so January the 30th. Why do I always press that button? It's tab, 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 tab. Might as well go this way, it'd be quicker. January the 30th, 2001. Tab. See, look, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay. Perfect. Hello to Hibby, thank you for being here. I think I saw your message before the stream as well. I think you said you were going somewhere or you were going to be somewhere, so you might miss it. But I'm glad you didn't miss it all. Whiteman says, gotta love the 9X clouds. Yeah, I love it. I love that aesthetic. Okay. Sky says plug in the Magic Mouse. I can't because I've got the old one where you can't use it when it's plugged in. Wait, can you use the new one when it's plugged in? No, you can't, can you? I mean, this original one doesn't even have any way to plug it in. It just literally has a battery section here, which is kind of annoying. Right. So. Okay, we didn't get stuck on that screen like we did last time, which is a good sign. So enjoy the 16-bit colors here. Isn't this great? It's like Christmas, isn't it? So yeah, again, very 9X inspired setup process. Same general layout, but just slightly redesigned again in terms of graphics. Okay, that was quite quick. Open Range says 16 colors, not 16-bit. Oh, did I say 16-bit? Oh, I meant 16 colors. Yeah, I'm sure you know what I mean. 16 colors. Pancake says that blood red progress bar. No, it's a bit ominous, wasn't it, that? And again, we've got another new boot screen. I like that one as well. I think I prefer the first one just because it has the older logo on that I prefer anyway. As you can tell by my shirt, this is my favorite Windows logo. Love it. But yeah. So new boot screen, but kind of similar to before. I like how it ties in as well with this little graphic down here. It's got that same sort of graphic as on the boot screen. I like that. Although they've still got the old logo there for some reason. Why not? Okay, nice little look at the old Windows 2000 style setup there. See how innovation works for you. This release includes hundreds of enhancements and new features based on customer requests. Like its predecessor, Windows Whistler Professional supports new cutting-edge technologies and also provides the best support for your current hardware and programs. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. You can't argue with that, can you? That's the same information again. Okay. Does it have any other billboards that's going to show us, or is it just that one? Ah, here we go. Try the easiest Windows yet. The familiar Windows interface has been enhanced to make it even easier to use. New visual cues help you find important information, and the redesigned Start menu makes it easier to access the programs you use most frequently. By automatically cleaning up the notification area and grouping related taskbar items, Whistler makes it easier to switch between programs and to open, view, or close multiple items. And it changed, but you get the idea. At the same time. Next. Manage information easily. Whistler makes it easy to manage all of your information. The anticipation's killing me. Online. We've enhanced the My Documents, My Pictures, and My Music folders to make them more useful. Whistler also supports integrated CD burning, so you now can save data to a CDR or CDRW drive as easily as you save to a floppy disk. That, I mean, that really dates this, doesn't it? That really lets you know what, you know, when this was a thing. Floppies and CDs. Work anytime, anywhere. We've increased battery life. Yeah, I mean, that's just a standard thing, isn't it? Clear type. Yes, makes LCD screens more readable. Whistler features exceptional plug and play and power management support. Amazing. Sky says that she wants build 2415 to leak. Is that the one? Wait, is that the one? Isn't there one that hasn't? Does it have an early version of Luna in it that hasn't leaked? Is it that one? Gareth says, I want early Windows XP builds with Luna, Longhorn M1, M2 builds, and early Windows 11 builds to leak. Yeah. Sulfur says, oh god, this looks terrible. Well, yes, you're right. It does, doesn't it? It's taken a long time as well, isn't it? I'm sure this is slower than the last one. Last build. Oh yeah, yeah. OpenRay says 2415 is the build with Luna, but with the classic flag. That's just so weird, isn't it? Thinking about that. Internet Explorer 6 delivers new multimedia functionality, enhanced security, and cookie management. I don't know why I'm reading this. There's nothing else to do in terms of setup, is there? Surely they could have put a little game of Minesweeper or something in here. It was going to take this long. Built on the proven reliability of Windows 2000. And I mean, Windows 2000 is really reliable and stable, isn't it? Whistler offers features that prevent the operating system from crashing and enable it to repair itself. Prevent it from crashing? Really? I think that's being a little bit over enthusiastic. Maybe reduce the risk of crashing. I'd probably go with that. Prevent from crashing, I don't think so. Subject Nether says, I wonder if any of the Odyssey or Blackcomb builds will ever leak one day. I mean, that would just be fascinating, wouldn't it? Even to just get another build of Neptune, I think would be so well, hopefully really useful, just to give us like a bit more context about Neptune, because it's difficult, isn't it? We only have one build that we have seen. It's difficult to like put that in context with anything else. But if we can have another build, we can have a bit more of an idea of how and when certain things changed and stuff during development. Okay, so Merlin is back in the out-of-box experience, slightly redesigned here, and again slightly more like the final version, especially with the background. Not exactly, but you know, it's the general ideas there, isn't it? Why is the top chopped off? I'm sure that's not meant to be like that, but anyway, Merlin's here. I'm just going to click through this because it's going to be similar to before. So we're going to connect directly to the internet. Don't want to activate now. Yes, my name is WoW, and we're done. Okay, now this is where the last build was hanging for a while, and it looks like this one might do the same thing. Why not? So we'll just wait for this. OpenRain says that was quick. Yeah, that was quicker that time, wasn't it? Yeah, why is it gone off the screen? I have no idea. What if I make this full screen? Will that fix it? Probably not. How does that look? Oh no, that looks worse for you. No, sorry, ignore that. I'm not going to do full screen. That is not helpful. Right, hold on, did I fix it? Yeah, okay. Perfect. So, here we are in build 2428. So, as you can see here, we have an early version of the Luna theme, which would obviously be the final theme that came with XP. And this is not exactly the same as the final version of Luna. For example, you can see that the highlighting on the start button is slightly different. The texture is slightly different here. I think the title bars are as well, aren't they? The taskbar buttons are, again, slightly different texture. Are the title bars different, or is that just me thinking that they are? Maybe not, actually. But, I mean, obviously, the taskbar visuals are definitely slightly different. Not a lot, but you can tell it's not quite the final version yet. I'm just going to lock the taskbar because I hate it when it's not locked. So we've got early version of Luna, like I said, introduction of the new Windows logo for XP, like I said, and obviously you can see it on the start button, although it's not here yet, so it's not everywhere, but obviously it is in the process of being introduced at this point. And then also, there is a new wallpaper that is set by default. The only reason that we can't see it here is because I upgraded from the last build, and this is obviously the previous wallpaper. But by default, the wallpaper is Red Moon Desert, which is this one, which did ship in XP, and it's really interesting because there's a kind of a funny story about this. This was meant to be, apparently anyway, meant to be the default Windows XP wallpaper, until one or more developers, when they were using the builds that had this set as the default wallpaper, apparently said that the wallpaper reminded them of a bum, and then it had to be changed because obviously Microsoft didn't want people to be booting into the computers and then having the wallpaper reminding them of bums. So yes, apparently this looks like a bum. I mean, I don't see it personally. Let me know if you do. I don't really see it. But apparently some people were concerned that it looked too much like a bum and then it had to be changed. So there you go. Another interesting fact about Red Moon Desert is that the photographer is the same person that took the picture that would be the default wallpaper, which is Bliss. So his name was Charles O'Rea, which is also a funny coincidence, talking about bums. Charles O'Rea, yeah, so he took both of these pictures. So both of his pictures, well, he took many pictures, but 2 of his pictures, at least, were considered. And in fact, one of them was used as the final wallpaper in XP. But yes, let me know, what is your opinion on this? Because I really don't see a bum here. Is it just me? I don't personally see it. But there we go. That's the story anyway. That's why it was changed. Apparently. Yeah. So now, before we go to the next build again, I'm going to just let you know a couple of things. So between this build and the next one that I want to look at, which is 2481, we've got a couple of other significant things happening. So build 2462 was the official beta 2 build of XP, and then build 2474 is famous because on the logon screen it has an animated logo, which didn't last very long, didn't make the final version, but it's kind of interesting that it was there. And actually, that reminds me, let's have a look at the logon screen, because I've not done this for a while, have I? Oh, great. Well, I mean, you can kind of see it there. I was just going to say it's similar to the final version, right? If you look, very similar. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so not quite the same, but very similar, right? Same as before. We've got these clouds in this top left corner that wouldn't be there, you know, in the final version. But apart from that, basically very similar otherwise. So yeah, White Bear and Blue Spirit don't see the buttocks. Gum can kind of see it, apparently. Okay, Sky and Pancake are asking for the tour. Oh no, is this the one that has that? Oh my gosh. Is it the one that has that really... Is it Hello World? Is it that one? It must be if you're asking for it. How do I get to the tour? Is it here? Oh no, wait, that's getting started. How do I get to the tour? Is it this? No, this is not Hello World, is it? This is the Windows 2000 one. How do I get to it? How do I get to the tour? I've got to go into a folder, haven't I? Thank you, Edward. Edward's on it with helping out here. Okay, so help tours. Okay, thanks, guys. Help, not that. Tours. It is Hello World. Can you hear this music? Because you should be able to hear this. I don't know if you can though. What if I turn this up? Maybe it is the louder. Can you hear that? I can't hear anything. That's so weird. Why it's not? Oh, you can. Oh, I think you can. Oh, perfect. Gareth is funky. Yeah, you must be good with it. It is funky, isn't it? Is this so loud that can you still hear me, or is it too loud? Is it too loud? Or is it okay? Sulfur says this slaps. Oh my gosh. Okay, green light says it's loud. Is it a bit loud? Just give me a yes if it's too loud, and I'll turn it down a little bit before you go insane. It's a bit loud. Okay, Super says it's a bit loud. Let's go. Well, I'll take it down by 5 here. Solar Strike says now we might get a copyright strike. Oh no, is it copyrighted? Oh no. Anyway, I'm going to mute it so that you don't go insane. But yeah, I mean, it's a banger really, isn't it? I love that. So yeah, this is the tour. As you can see, it's so, I mean, it's so informational, isn't it? It's so helpful, this tour. These little flowers always remind me of the ICQ icon, which is a very old chat client, basically, in case you're not aware. But yeah. Super says, nice shirt. Thank you. This is my favorite Windows logo. Yeah, so thanks, guys, for who were asking about the tour, because actually I forgot that was in this build, and that I mean, that is something that you have to see, isn't it? At least once in your life, honestly. Right, anyway, so now let's go to build 2481. So this build, again, this is from 29th of January 2001. We're going to go for, we're going to go to 2481. That's right, isn't it? 2481. Yeah, 2481 is from a few months later, 23rd of May. 2001. Now, I think there are some subtle changes here because, again, this background graphic, I think, has changed now, hasn't it? It doesn't have the clouds on anymore in this top corner. It has this little, like, orby, glowy bit, more like it would have in the final version of the logon screen. So let's go through here. We now have the lunar theme on the setup windows. And again, it's going to ask for a product key. Why do I never think about this in advance? So 2481, I have the product key already saved here. Okay, let's put this in. Do. D233Y. Perfect. And again, I'm not going to download new setup files because it won't work. So again, I mean, you can see again, it's just incremental changes at this point. This just looks a little bit more like the final setup, doesn't it, basically? What are all the Fs for? Is it F for clouds? Is it? I mean, yeah, I kind of like the cloud look. There it is again. Look, I like that. That's kind of, I don't know. Can't beat a good cloud graphic, can you? Thank you, Pancake, for reminding me it's BIOS time, and Juba, because I would probably have forgotten again. Okay, BIOS. Why do I always miss it? I'm just going to go to power on the firmware. CEO says, nice shirt, by the way. It looks neat. Thank you very much. Yeah, I love this. I have a short sleeve version of this as well because I liked it so much that I got a long sleeve and a short sleeve version. And today is definitely a long sleeve day because it's gotten really cold here. It's currently 9 degrees Celsius in the UK, where I am anyway. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's cold. 9 Celsius. Okay, so 2481 BIOS date. So this is the 24th of May. So month first because it's American. Are there any other British people here? I know Dominic is. Dominic, do you have this problem with American dates? I don't know, it's just confusing, isn't it? So it's the month first, then the day in the American format, which I can't get my head around. 24th of May 2001. Okay, perfect. And let's exit saving changes. Okay, yeah, setup. Orbitron says, I just realized I'm almost at 2,600 subs. Guys, go and check out Orbitron's channel because we have to get Orbitron to 2,600 now because that is the RTM build of XP. I mean, we have to, right? So please go. Orbitron does good video. I know I was talking about Solar Strike earlier. Orbitron also does good Windows related videos. Go and check out Orbitron's channel. Good says, I'm British and the American dates annoy me. I mean, to me, it just makes more sense to have the day first, because then it's in order of length of time, right? So like a day is shorter than a month. So the day is first, then the month is the next longest amount of time, so that's second, then a year is the next longest. So surely, American folk, what are your thoughts on this? Surely, if we're going with logic here, that makes sense, right? Surely. Was there like another point of view? Because I'd be interested if there was another... Is there another reason why the month should come first? That was so quick, that part of setup, that I didn't even have time to talk about it. But I think that, again, there were just some very small changes there. Noah is asking about the business theme. I did that at the beginning of the video, probably about 20 minutes in, I want to say, something like that. No, more than that, maybe about 40 minutes in. In build 2223, I looked at the business theme. Okay, so now here, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the final design of Windows XP setup at this point. I'm pretty sure. If there's anything different, it's so subtle that I can't remember / notice a difference. Right, I'm just going to check. What are people saying about this date thing? Because I find this really interesting. Sucre says, if you're going to have the month first, why not go year, month, day? Yeah, I don't know. Solar Strike says, I don't care. Well, fair enough. CEO, okay, so CEO says that they are American, but they find it easy to understand the international year. Okay, fair enough. Edward says we missed the boot screen. Oh, in build 2474. Oh yes, sorry, I did not look at that build. Sorry, it's just because I mean, I could have done a 2-part stream, but I think it would make more sense to have it as 1 part. I think. But again, that's just a matter of opinion, isn't it? Thank you, by the way, if you're still here, and I haven't mentioned this because I'm really bad at self-promotion. At least you know I'm not doing this for the promotion. But if you like the stream and you're interested, please subscribe if you haven't already and help get us to 10,000 subs, which would be amazing. And also, if you like and you're on Discord, if you go to windowsonwindows.com, you can come and join us on the Discord where we talk about Windows and lots of other stuff as well. All the socials are on windowsonwindows.com. Even if you're already in the Discord, you can find my Twitter on there and so on. There's a link to the shop where there's merch if you want merch, which I also do not self-promote. See, I'm not doing this for the money, guys, but if you do want to contribute money or a sub or anything, then please, or please feel free to do so, because it's much appreciated. I just don't really think about asking. But yes, I've got nice merch. I just don't have it here to show you. So yeah, clearly you have to go and buy it. Right, what's going on here? Okay, there's disk activity, so it's not crashed, so don't panic. Nobody panic. I'll just catch up on chat while it's carrying on doing what it's doing here. Right. Arthur says 2 dislikes. Oh no, why is that? Maybe some people couldn't handle me forgetting the BIOS dates. Yeah, Solar Strike makes a good point. Solar Strike did a few parts, like 3 parts, I think, 3 or 4, to his upgrade, XP upgrade streams. Sucre says, I've got to go and work on my stuff. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you very much, Sucre. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the stream while you were here. Thank you, Tim, for the conversion from degrees Celsius. Not that it matters, but it's kind of interesting, isn't it? So yeah, it's about 48 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the temperature where I am in the UK at the moment. So I mean, that is pretty cold, isn't it? Not frozen cold, but cold. Gum says Sky scares me. Why? Why is that? Why? Don't be scared of Sky. There is still disk activity, by the way. I think it's just being slow. It's probably doing... Is it doing a driver installation again? I feel like we went through this earlier with another build. Yeah, Juba says display drivers. Yeah, you're probably right. Johnny has been here since the beginning. Thank you very much. I'm glad you have found it entertaining. Arthur is asking, is it daytime? It is currently 9:15 in the evening for me, so no, it's late here. Ah, Orbtron has already said that. Yes, it's 9 PM here. Well, what build are we on? I've forgotten. 2481. Well, this is taking its time, isn't it? So again, there's a couple of interesting things in 2481 as well that we will obviously have a look at. Well, one thing is something to look at, and then another one is something to listen to, which I think someone might have mentioned actually. Oh, and Tim says, I think this is about the setup procedure that I was talking about. It's not exactly the same as the final version. The gradients weren't in the final build. Thanks, Tim, because I did not notice or remember about that. Alkaline Thunder, thank you for being here, by the way. It's the first time you've been in a WoW stream because YouTube literally never shows me recent WoW videos or streams. Turn the bell on if you haven't already. That's what I would do. I don't know if that would help, but I do that. If I definitely want a notification from a channel, I'll turn the bell on. That's another thing that I should probably ask for, but see, I don't think about these things. Turn the bell on. If you want to be notified when there's a stream / video, turn the bell on. There you go. Right, is this still doing something? It is. There is disk activity here. I just don't know why it feels the need to take this long to do something. I'm going to give it another minute or so and hope. Orbitron says, I've been here for 3 hours. Well, it's much appreciated because, I mean, I think I say this a lot, but without anyone here, there's no point me doing this, is there? I may as well just be sitting around by myself installing Windows, but that's not fun, is it? It's nice to talk about it. In fact, let's do a poll. Has anyone got any poll ideas? Let's do a poll while we're waiting for build 2481. And then after this build, we're on to literally the RTM build. So we'll have a talk about the final few changes for, in RTM, and then we'll have a little chat about the service packs and, you know, what they brought, which again, it's not massive changes, but we'll talk about those. And then the basically post service pack 3 updates, we'll have a little talk about that, but again, it's not going to be anything massive. Right, okay, poll ideas. Solar Strike says, how long did you use XP? Is that a poll idea? I think I've only got 4 options though in the poll, so favorite theme. OpenRay says favorite theme. I did that earlier though. Did the themes already. Solar Strike says it is. Okay, right. How long did you use XP? Oh, okay. Yes, let's do this. I can make this work with 4 options, I think. I'll just have to maybe do categories. Okay. How long did you use XP? And this, I think this would have to be as a daily operating system. We're gonna have to say, aren't we? Not like going back and using it in a virtual machine. So let's see. So between XP and Vista, that was about 5 years, wasn't it? 5. So let's do 5. Let's do up to 5 years, which would take you to Vista, roughly, and then 5 to 10. And that would be just after Windows 7 came out, Windows 7 Service Pack 1, 10 to 15, which would then take you through end of support and slightly past end of support. And then we'll do 15 plus, over 15 as a daily operating system. There we go. Let me know what you think. This is going to be interesting. Right, what is going? There's still disk activity, so it's definitely installing drive. It must be installing drivers still. It's taken ages. Has anyone else had this problem with 2481? I don't remember this being a thing. So weird. Right. Do. Worrying. This is very worrying, isn't it? Okay, I am just excuse me for a minute. I'm just going to very quickly go and get a drink since it's still hanging on this screen. Apologies that there's nothing interesting that I can show you while it's doing this because it's just literally on a black screen. So yes, I will be right back. Okay, I am back. And I'm pleased to see that we've made loads of progress here. Right, what do we think? Shall I... Okay, give me a yes if you think I should do this. Shall I force restart this and see if it just skips this? Give me a yes if you think I should force restart. As an option. Okay, what's going on in the poll anyway? In the meantime, this is interesting actually, because I would have thought that most people would have used it longer than 5 years. That's interesting. So yeah, that is interesting. Up to 5 years, 5 to 10 years. Over 15. I mean, that's quite a lot of people as well, isn't it? That's going past end of support. Interesting. Okay, well that was quite a few yeses. There is still disk activity though, as well, which is kind of making me feel like maybe we shouldn't. But then how long do you wait? Because this has taken a while, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe let's do this for a minute. I'll go full screen. Then you're not looking at a black screen. You can look at me instead. Here I am. Okay, maybe I'll give it till 25 past. So a few minutes. If it's still on a black screen, then I will reboot. Maybe. Oh, open rain. That's a good idea. Snapshot and restart. Oh yeah, that is a good idea. Okay, let's do this. Thank you for the good idea, open rain. That is a very good idea. Okay, snapshot here and then restart. Perfect. See, I would not have thought that. Would not have thought of it. Right. Let's see if this actually helps at all. Why is it stuck on this screen now? What is going on? This is so weird. Oh, okay. Now, why is it being slow? Okay, what if I disconnect the CD? Does that help? Orbitron says, what's your favorite Windows theme? To me, does Windows Classic count? Yeah, I guess so. It's not a visual style, is it? Yeah, Windows Classic. Okay, that may have helped. We have the boot screen now anyway. So here we go. Look, Windows XP boot screen. Right. Okay, let's put the disk back in. Thank you, Open Rain. That appears to have helped. There. Okay, I think I've already talked about this setup UI, I think. So, have I? I can't remember now that I've said that. But again, this is either the same as the final version or very similar. Again, if anyone remembers exactly, please let me know. I don't remember in 2.4.8.1 whether it is visually exactly the same as in the final or not. It might be slightly different. How long were we on that black screen for? That's so weird. And there was disk activity the whole time. I mean, there was hard drive activity and CD activity the whole time. So it was clearly doing something. But not actually getting anywhere. Johnny, thank you. Johnny says the font's not finalized. What font is it using? I can't tell here. A lot of these sans serif ones look the same to me. Oh yeah, finals to Homer, isn't it? That's right. Interesting. Yeah, that poll was very interesting. Up to 5 years or 5 to 10 years. But actually, I think Solar Strike said this earlier. If a lot of people were born after XP came out, then that would make sense, wouldn't it? Because like if you were born in, say, 2009, that's when Windows 7 came out. So you may not have even used XP, or if you did, only for 1 or 2 years. So yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Interesting. Sulfur says this is using Arial. Thank you, Sulfur, because I would not have guessed that. Sometimes I can't tell the difference between like Arial to Homer. They look so similar, don't they? Is this part of setup taking longer as well, or is it just me? Is this build known for being slow? I don't remember. Oh yeah, oh sorry, Sky. Sky, no. Sky, don't panic. Sky says, people were born after 7 came out. Oh god. Yeah, Sky, don't panic. Don't panic, it's okay. It's okay. It might be 12, which is old for an operating system, but it could be worse, couldn't it? Right. Tom says, I'm installing with you. Ah, interesting. Green Knight says, people are being born right now, lol. Why? I don't know why. Why is that funny? People are being born all the time. Yes. Oh dear. There we go. Look, we can all feel old now. Sky feels old because 7 is 12. I'm old because I was 10 when Windows XP came out. Yeah, so when I started the channel, which was in 2012, right? I think it was early 2012, so I would have been 21. But in my early videos, I probably sound like a teenager, I'm guessing, because, well, a variety of things. I think partly because of my accent, because I'm from South Wales. I mean, I don't really have the Welsh accent anymore, but in the Welsh accent, especially part of Wales that I'm from, if you're male, then you tend to, because of your accent, you tend to talk in a higher pitch. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's because, like, the accent's quite high-pitched. That probably doesn't, I don't know, that's not very flattering, but probably a combination of the accent and also the fact that I was using a really bad microphone, so I probably sounded about 8. So apologies about that, but I was actually 21, believe it or not, with a computer with a massive loud fan, as is now infamous. Oh yeah. Orbitron started your channel when you were 4. Wow. Seriously, 4. Wow. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about when I was 4 because I'm just not going to go there. Let's just say that YouTube didn't exist. I think that's just going far enough. Edward says, I actually remember these old videos. Yes, I mean, I tried and erase these from my memory. Apologies for anyone that's not seen my really old videos. Please don't go and watch them because it's really embarrassing. So yeah, has this frozen? There's disk activity again. This build, what is up with this build? I feel like this is not the way it should be. It's still reading from the disk, but it's not actually appearing to do anything. Check task manager, Sky says. Okay, let's do that. Oh, why can I not shift F10 here? Why is that? I have a feeling that this keyboard layout is not correct. Edit profile. How about I just do this actually? Let's just do... Let's just change this to shift function F10. Okay, so now I need to press Command S. Okay, Command S. No, nothing. It is F10, isn't it? Or was it F11? Yeah, it's Shift F10. That's not working. That is not doing anything. Oh, has it crashed? Now it's not moving. This little thing's not moving. Okay, I'm going to restart. I'm going to snapshot and restart, I think. Restart. Has anyone else had problems with build 2481? I don't remember. I don't think I did a video on this, did I? Or did I? I can't remember. I don't remember having problems, though. Setup's been restarted, but now will it go back right to the beginning? Oh, yes, it has, isn't it? Ugh. What to do? Okay, I'm just gonna... Let's just see if it does the same thing again. And let's hope it doesn't this time. If it gets stuck again, then we could always clean install it, I guess. I don't know. Should I do a poll on this? Maybe I should... Yeah, I'm going to do a poll. Let me know what you think. Okay, so, providing that it doesn't appear to finish again this time, should we wait, potentially indefinitely, do a clean install, or shall we skip to RTM, which is 2,600. Let me know what you think. And I'm only going to do this if it appears like it's not going to finish again. I'm not going to do it right this second, but let me know. In worst case scenario, which one of these three things would you rather me do? Sky says try Shift F10 again before you get to that phase. I can try it now. Why is that crashing it? That's so weird. That has done the same thing again. Has anyone ever experienced Shift F10 crashing it? That's so weird. What's going on? I mean, that literally, now it's just not doing anything. Okay, right. Let's do a clean install. I think that's probably going to be the most sensible thing. I think it's winning the poll, isn't it? Yeah, clean install. Okay. Restart. Ooh, okay, right. We want to cancel current upgrade and restart with CD in the drive. F10. That didn't restart, did it? Well, whatever. Right, so we'll clean install 2481. There's always one, isn't there? There's always one build. Well, in the case of a WoW stream, there's like several builds that end up going wrong. So yeah, look, what should we talk about when we're waiting for this to install? Let's do another poll. Okay, I'm going to end that one because clean install 1, and that's what we're doing now anyway. So let's do a poll. Oh my gosh, did I set the BIOS date? I did. Yes, I did. I did. Okay. F8. Yes, you may install here. Press escape. I'm just going to delete this. Delete. Yes. Okay. Format quick. Okay. Right, let's do another poll. Has anyone got a poll idea? Primarily XP related. And actually, we've not mentioned any facts about XP, have we, apart from what's been in the builds? What interesting facts are there? I was actually going to throw this open to people. Has anyone got any interesting facts about XP that people might not know? Because I can only think of obvious ones, like XP stands for experience. What else? There's a reference to Windows 2001 in at least one XP build, which would suggest that Microsoft were aiming, at least at some point, to call it after its year of release, Windows 2001. The XP concept logos that were done by Frog Design, that Microsoft asked to help design XP things. They used Windows 2002 as part of their logo design, so clearly that was an option that was considered, naming it that way. I mean, that would have made sense, wouldn't it? Because they named 2000 in the same way, so it would have just made sense by default to have named it the same way as its predecessor. What else? There's a lot of interesting things about all versions of Windows. During the launch event for XP, Bill Gates played Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Windows and XP related questions. That was interesting. Arthur says, bye, thank you for being here. I hope you've enjoyed it. Right, so let's see if we can actually get this build installed. This seems quicker this time. Is it just me? I don't know. Solar Strike, thank you. That's a good one. Starter Edition, yeah. So there was an XP Starter Edition, which I think came out after XP at some point afterwards. Starter Edition was basically a slimmed down version of XP that was designed for essentially running on, you know, computers in developing countries, essentially. So computers that had lower specifications, essentially. And it had some very strange things in it, like, for example, you could only run 3 apps at a time, or something odd like that. Like there was a limit on how many apps you could run. Bit weird. Right, 2481. So we need the product key again here. Let's do this. This is always fun, isn't it? Putting product keys in. Do. I guess kind of related to XP Starter Edition as well is Windows Fundamentals for Legacy PCs, which was achieving a similar thing. That was designed for businesses that again had low spec computers to be able to upgrade from Windows 9X to Windows XP, but if they had very low spec terminals, they could upgrade to Fundamentals for Legacy PCs instead, which is just basically another slimmed down in a different way. It doesn't have limits on how many apps you can run and stuff, but slimmed down otherwise. And yeah, I can see The Sims, as mentioned, Tablet PC Edition. So yeah, there were actually lots of editions of XP. Tablet PC Edition, which was obviously designed for touchscreen devices. Media Center Edition, which was designed for PCs that were being used as media hubs at home. So yes, there's lots of interesting things about XP and everything to do with XP. Open Rain, this is interesting as well. There was an Itanium 64 edition of Windows XP. Yeah, that's right. Right, I think we've got further this time. Am I right? I don't remember seeing registering components last time. So there you go. If in doubt, clean install. What time are we on? 20 to 10. Saving settings. This is a good sign. This is a very good sign. Tom says, I'm installing it from an ISO I downloaded and it's not crashing. Can I give you the link for my ISO? Tom, YouTube chat won't let you post a link. I don't think. This is going to be because I didn't set the date, I think, isn't it? View the log file. Oh, not signed properly. Is that the date? I think that might be because I didn't set the date properly. I'm sure I did, though. I did, didn't I? Let me check this date. I'm sure I set the date properly. 24th of May. Yeah, I did. 24th of May. That is the right date. So maybe we just need to ignore that. Again, I don't remember if that's a known thing in this build because it's been so long since I installed it. That could just be an error that we need to ignore. I think that's what Orbitron is saying. You were fine. I'm thinking that's what you're saying. Okay, I will ignore that. Yeah, what was I saying, Tom? YouTube chat won't let you post links, but I've fixed it. Well, I haven't fixed it, but I've managed to circumvent it now because we are installed, hopefully. Okay, awesome. So this what? So 23rd of May. This was about what? May, June, July. So 3 months before release to manufacturing. So the differences at this point will be very slight from the final version. As you can see here, Merlin has gone and he's been replaced with a question mark, which was a very questionable decision that I don't like. And so is using Comic Sans there. I mean, why would you do that? I don't remember. Does this build have the Windows welcome music playing in the background? Because I do have sound drivers, so it should. Well, I did have sound drivers, didn't I? But I don't know actually now if it has. Maybe it's not detected them. Let's find out. Oh, it has, because Orbitron hears the music. Perfect. So yes, Windows welcome music. Oh, Jonathan doesn't hear it. Oh, so was there music? Was there music or not? I'm not sure. Let's check actually. There was. I was just going to check the sound drivers. Oh, it was just quiet. Oh, that's because I turned this volume down. Ah, thank you, Orbitron. Yes, so as you can see, now this, well, I mean, this looks, for all intents and purposes, like the final build of XP. We've got rid of the bomb, the bomb wallpaper, which I literally do not see how that looks like a bomb, but there you go. So Red Moon Desert was replaced with Bliss, which obviously would become the final default wallpaper. We've also got the final version of Luna. We also have now the recolors for Luna as well. So we've got default, homestead, and metallic, which are the same as default blue, olive green, and silver, just with different names, as you can see here. So here's olive green, and then this is silver. So we have these now as well. The other main thing here is that this build introduces XP sounds. However, I don't think they're set by default. So let's actually go into here. And hopefully, yeah, you should be able to hear this. I'm going to turn this all the way up so you can definitely hear this. Apologies if it's too loud now. But if we change this to Windows default, I believe this should now activate the XP sounds. So you should be able to hear these, possibly extremely narrowly, in which case I'm going to apologize. But hopefully that works. Right, so these are XP sounds, obviously. So yeah, I mean, you can't beat it, can you? And someone did mention this, but yes, apparently the actual bit rate, I think it's the bit rate of the sounds in this build are higher than in any other build. So these are the highest quality XP sounds that you can get from this build. 2481. There you go. Yeah, OpenRange just said that. Yeah, there you go. Interesting. That's so random, isn't it? But it's interesting as well. I wonder why. Just weird. Perfect. Okay, so before we upgrade to the final build that we're going to look at, which is obviously the RTM build 2600, I've got another couple of honorable mentions. So build 2505 was the first release candidate build of XP. And then build 2526 is another infamous build. So firstly, it was the second release candidate, but also it's probably more well known because it has a time bomb in it that is only 2 hours long. So you can only use the build for 2 hours, and then that's it. I mean, usually the time bombs, like the amount of time you get is, you know, months, like 90 days or something, or longer. But yeah, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm guessing it's probably unintentional that it's 2 hours. I wouldn't imagine that is a thing that has been done on purpose. But yeah, there you go. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so let's go to the final build of XP. And let's upgrade, and let's hope that we don't have any issues with this one. Okay, and then product key. Again, I have this saved here, potentially. Oh, no, I don't, because this is the final. I mean, it shouldn't really be. We shouldn't be sharing product keys for the final build, should we? But I'll find one. Windows XP, product key. Microsoft, I own XP on a disk with my own product key. Okay, so this is fine for educational purposes. Right. Okay, hopefully one of these is going to work. Let's find out. If not, if anyone wants to get a key ready that they know, then please feel free to let me know. And again, I'm just going to put a little disclaimer here. This is only for educational purposes. No one is going to be using this installed copy of XP after this stream. It will be removed, so we are not pirating it. It's just for display purposes. Oh, there you go. That one worked anyway. Perfect. Right, so let us just go through this. I'll restart manually to save time. Thanks, Tom, for the key anyway. That was very quick. Is it going to restart or not? Oh, yes, look. Classic. There's disk activity. That's going to be... that. In fact, if I'm going to give this episode a little tagline, a little title, like I usually do for episodes, that's what this one's going to be. There's disk activity. It's not going to restart, is it? Or is it? Oh, I don't know. I don't know whether to trust it now. Okay, I'm going to give it a minute. Let's just see. Maybe it's just, I don't know, having a moment. In your own time, XP. In your own time. Solar Strike says a wow moment. Yeah, I mean, that has two meanings, doesn't it now? A wow moment. That's definitely what's going on here. Now we could check Task Manager, actually, couldn't we? What is going on here? And nothing. It doesn't look like anything's going on. Bizarre. It's just bizarre, isn't it? I'm going to press this again and see what happens. What could go wrong? Right, let's try this again with the product key again. And if this doesn't work, I might as well just clean install it because it's not going to make any difference, is it? Either way. 3, 4, R9, TK, 3H3, copy, 8. No, skip that step. Okay, this time I'm just not going to press anything and let it just do it itself and hope that that works. There we go. I don't know what I did. It was probably something that I did. Final boot screen. Why do I keep calling it a boot screen? It's a log-on screen. Final log-on screen. I mean, that's a log-off screen. Definitely not a boot screen. Just take your time, XP. You take your time. Right, let's go back into setup. Please wait, that's bringing back bad memories. Microsoft Windows. Why? That's why. I don't. Why is that like that? Wait, why was there no XP on that screen? Has that always been like that? Why do I feel shocked by seeing that? Why did that not say Windows XP? Why did it have a grey progress bar? Have I just erased this from my memory? Weird. Very weird. Oh, hang on. Wait, now has this crashed again? Has it crashed? This looks like it might have crashed. Oh, no. No, I think it just moved. I don't know what to say really. What can you say? Oh, Upton says that plain Windows boot screen was used on 2493 server. Interesting. Wonder why that's there. That's so weird, isn't it? Pancake says, oh, I didn't even see this. Your computer will be faster and more reliable. Freezes. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so funny. I mean, yeah, has anyone else noticed? Is it just me? But I'm sure these builds have got more unreliable and slower as we've approached RTM. That is a very bad sign, isn't it? What's going on there? Clearly, maybe they used up all their resources making the UI look nicer, and then they just kind of forgot about everything else. Oh dear. There we go. Oh look, that's better. Yeah, Greenlight says your computer will be less reliable and slower. Oh, why do I find this so funny? It's because it's true. I find it funny because it is true, isn't it? Oh, gosh. Oh, that was funny. Whoever said these streams weren't professional? Yeah. Oh no, I'm losing it now. Sky says for testing purposes only. XPRTM. Yeah, I saw that as well. Why? Why is that there? Oh. It's just so Microsoft, isn't it? I just can't think of anything else to say about it. Anyway, at least it's not on a black screen this time when it's installing devices. So it could be worse, couldn't it? I mean, that installing network, do you see that? That was so much faster than in Windows 2000 though, so they clearly must have paid some attention to that part. Yes. Right, so for build 2600. So this is the RTM build, like I said. So RTM, or released to manufacturing, that was the 17th of August 2001, and then released to retail for general availability was the 25th of October 2001, which is the date that we're celebrating. A little bit early, but on what day will that be? Saturday, Sunday, on Monday. Monday? Yeah, on Monday, it will be 20 years since XP was released to retail / general availability, meaning that people could go out and buy it themselves from a shop on a disc, believe it or not, on a CD as well, not even a DVD, on a CD. Yes. So your computer will be less reliable and slower. I can't get that on my head now. I think I might be overtired. I'm moving into overtired now. How long have I been streaming for? 3 hours, roughly. Oh dear, it's all going to fall apart now. It's going to deteriorate even more. So yeah, I was going to ask, does anyone have anything that they know about that's changed between build 2481 and build 2600? Because I haven't actually written anything down for this, which would probably mean that I didn't think there was anything significant to mention that had changed. But obviously we have to look at the RTM build, don't we? Because that's the RTM build. So oh yeah, thanks Sky. So the sounds are on by default, obviously. The boot screen's changed slightly because yeah, it doesn't have the version 2002 text on it. And the visual style names, yes, thanks Sky, because Homestead becomes olive green and then metallic becomes silver. That's right. Yeah, and other people have said that as well. Yeah, the theme names. Clearly that was important, wasn't it? Changing the theme names. Yes. Right, so we'll have a look at RTM. And then I think I'll talk about the service packs, but I don't think it's worth really installing them unless anyone desperately wants me to install the service pack. I mean, in fact, let's do a poll. Just let me know if you're interested in me installing a service pack. And it'll just be installing service pack 3 on top of this build. So I'll leave that up to you. Okay, so let's go through the out-of-box experience again. We're not going to activate. Okay. Sky, yeah, that's another one, isn't it? Yeah, Comic Sans is not being used for the question mark text, thank God, because that's not a good choice, is it? Right, so yeah, here we are at RTM. I don't know what else to say about it. Shall we take the tour? Let's take the tour.
Welcome to Windows XP from
Microsoft,
the new version of Windows that brings your PC to life.
Interrupt this lady. I can't hear.
To begin the tour, click any selection.
I'm sure most people will have seen the tour before, but we'll have a look at a part of it. Why not?
Friendly new screens, simplified menus, and a whole lot more. Control panel. Customizing your computer settings is simple with the Windows XP control panel.
There it is.
Just open it from the Start menu. Here's where you can change the way Windows XP looks and acts. Add and remove programs or hardware devices. Set up network connection.
Exit this. Okay, this is an overwhelming yes for Service Pack 3. Now, actually, does this machine have an internet connection? It should do. But shall we find out? Yes, it does. Although, how am I going to get to the thing? Does Major Geeks work on, i.e., old versions? Oh, now Bing's working. Okay. Does Major Geeks work? No. Right, so I wonder if actually does MyPal work on Windows XP Service Pack 1? Because that would be useful if it did. MyPal browser. Oh, maybe not. Does anyone know if this works on XP Service Pack 1? Does anyone know a website that will work here so that we can download the service pack? Anyone? You need... Okay, Solar Strike says you need Service Pack 2 first. Do I, to install Service Pack 3? If I do, I don't remember. Enderman says use the old net. The old net. Does that allow me to search or stuff? Is it this? Frog find? Windows XP Service Pack. Okay, well, let's go for Service Pack 2 then. Oh, perfect. Oh, wait, that's the 64-bit edition. We don't want that. Windows XP Service Pack 2. Wait, hang on. Why? Okay, why is the 64-bit edition link right at the top and then the 32-bit one is not there at all? That's an ISO anyway. Service Pack 2, we don't want the ISO though. We want the actual installation program. So I guess I'll try this. No, I cannot read this either, which is not helpful. It's not there, is it? Why? Anyone got any tips? How can we get this? Oh, so is it Service Pack 1 that I need? Okay, so hang on. SP1 and then SP3 or SP2 to get SP4. Okay, let's try and find Service Pack 1. No, it's not here, is it? Am I right in thinking that these service packs are still for download on the Microsoft website, or is that not true anymore? I'm not sure. Maybe they're not there. Although, actually, I've just thought of this. I actually did download an SP3 ISO, so we could probably upgrade this way. That's probably going to be easier, to be honest, isn't it? Let's do this. It'll save us having to look for it. And Tom had a question. Sorry, Tom, I forgot to answer your question. If I can install XP on a real PC, I could. In what context would that be? Would I do that though? Are you just meaning in a normal video? Right. I need a Service Pack 3 serial number here. Can't see any that are obviously Service Pack 3 because I'm sure aren't they different for Service Pack 3, or am I just making that up? Maybe I'm making it up. Let's try that one again then. If anyone wants to send me one in the meantime, then please feel free if there's one that you know works, just in case. And again, I'm just going to say as a disclaimer, this is for demonstration purposes only. That did work actually. Perfect. Right, let's just update this way because that's probably easier than going to look for Service Pack 3. Thank you, Greenlight, for the help anyway. Do. Tom says, do you know what Scratch is? I don't. Is that an app? What I don't know about, maybe? So, while we're waiting for Service Pack 3 to install, let's talk about Service Packs 1 and 2. So, Service Pack 1, this was released on the 28th of August 2002, so about a year after XP first came out. And, it did have bug fixes, and it did also include probably one main feature, which was the set program access and defaults area in add remove programs, which is basically a place where you could change your default programs easily, which I'm sure if you've used XP you'll recognize. And then Service Pack 2, this came again in August. This was the 3rd of August 2004, so a couple of years after Service Pack 1, or 3 years after the initial release. And the big thing that came with Service Pack 2 was the Windows Security Center, essentially. So it was a big security upgrade. And then Service Pack 3 that we're installing now, again, this was mainly just, like a bumper pack of updates that had already come out and bug fixes and so on. Nothing really major in terms of features. Although interestingly, and Sky's already mentioned this, Service Pack 3 would allow you to actually complete the setup without entering a product key for the first time. So you didn't have to enter a product key, which is how it would be in Vista as well, for example, where you can just skip that section of setup and enter it after you finish setting up manually. So yeah, interesting. And Service Pack 3, that came on the 13th of April 2008. So actually a very long time after XP came out, after Vista came out actually as well. There were 4 years pretty much between Service Pack 2 and 3. So 1 year between RTM and Service Pack 1. And then 2 years between Service Pack 1 and Service Pack 2. And then 4 years between Service Pack 2 and Service Pack 3. So yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. Orbitron says Service Pack 3 introduced SATA drivers. Yes, thank you for that. Sky says Service Pack 2 fixed XP. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and then, after Service Pack... So Service Pack 3 was 2008, but obviously end of support for XP, that wasn't for a good while after that. So 2014 for the desktop versions. And obviously there were still updates arriving in that time that you could install through Windows Update. There were no more service packs, however, so there was no, easy way to install everything all at once, not officially anyway. I know some people have already mentioned an unofficial Service Pack 4, and obviously part of what that's trying to do is make it easy to install all of those post Service Pack 3 updates. What was I asking on this poll? I've forgotten now. Oh, whether to install Service Pack 3. Oh, well, there we go. There we go, we did. Thank you for still being here, by the way. We've still got 35 people here. Actually, we've I mean, we have had more than that at some points, but relatively, on average, I think that we've had roughly the same number of people all the way through. So thank you very much. It's much appreciated, because it's been quite a long time, isn't it? 3 hours, over 3 hours. So thanks for that. Enderman has mentioned POS Ready 2009. This is interesting to talk about as well, isn't it? So POS Ready 2009 is technically a version of Windows Embedded, or effectively an embedded version of Windows XP, designed for use on things like cash registers, you know, cash machines, car stereos and stuff. And yeah, that was based on XP, but came out a while after XP first came out. So actually, POS Ready 2009's end of support was in 2019, which is a long time after the support ended for desktop versions of XP, which is interesting, isn't it? So effectively, XP was supported in some way until very recently, 2019, which is in itself fascinating. That is testament to how important this operating system was, isn't it? How important and how significant it was in people's lives. Yeah, Emily says the code base for XP was supported for 18 years. Just let that sink in. It had effectively 18 years of support. Just let that sink in. And that's not even including, you know, the development time or anything. That's 18 years from the moment it was finished. From the moment the first version was finished, it had 18 years of support. That's crazy. For an operating system, that is crazy. And there's so many reasons why, aren't there? I mean, this could be a whole stream by itself, but obviously part of it was because of what happened with Longhorn and how that got delayed and people stuck with XP. And, you know, there's just so many facets to this whole thing. But yeah, it's just amazing, really, isn't it? I don't think something like this will ever happen again with an operating system. I don't think we'll ever see one on the magnitude of XP in terms of how many people used it, you know, how long people used it for. I don't think so. Right, how is this going? Saving settings. I'm sure this has taken longer than the last one. I think it has, hasn't it? Seems like it. So yeah, we'll install SP3. I mean, I've already talked about the changes, haven't I? We'll install it anyway, just to have a look. Why not? I mean, it's going to look exactly the same as RTM, but why not? Let's just have a look. And in the meantime, let me know, how would you personally rate XP on a scale of 1 to 11 in Windows versions? What would you give XP as a nice general rating, considering everything? Let me know. Okay, so Solar Strike says 11. I knew, Dominic, I knew you were going to say XP out of 11. And yeah, actually, sorry, I've been ignoring you unintentionally. I know you've said check my Discord DMs. I will do that in a moment. Orbitron says XP out of 11 as well. Emily says 2,600 out of 2,600. Nice. What else? Tim says 8 out of 11. Red says 7. Jupiter says 11. Solar Strike says XP. Greenlight says 100 out of 11. Nice. I think we can all agree, for many, many different reasons, that XP has to be. I mean, there's not even a question about it, is there? It is one of the best versions of Windows. There's just no question. It is in the top. For me, it's in the top 2. I think Windows 7 first, then XP. Right, let's just go through the OOB. We will activate now. Oh, Dominic, you messaged me about the funny thing. I don't think I'm going to have time, in all honesty, because I'm going to have to go shortly. I think, actually, Dominic, I mean, this is unrelated, but Dominic, we could dedicate a whole stream to that. Because couldn't we do that in different versions of Windows? Maybe? Don't know. Could that be entertaining? Sky says XP is number 3 for me. This is ratings of Windows versions behind 2007. I mean, 2000 and XP are basically the same, aren't they? 2000 to me looks better because I prefer Windows Classic anyway, and it's nice in that it doesn't have any bloat, does it? It's just like literally, it's simple, clean. It's just got the basic things like Paint, Notepad, you know. So yeah, it's got the best boot screen. Clearly, best boot screen 2000, best startup sound, but XP's got nice startup sound and boot screen as well. But yeah. Yes, we didn't talk about Windows Welcome Music. Well, I did briefly, but Windows Welcome Music that plays in the out-of-box experience, that's interesting because that's never happened before or since, has it, in any Windows version? This is the only time that there's been music playing in the out-of-box experience if you had a compatible sound card. And yes, it's called Welcomen by Stan Lippard, aka the Windows Welcome Music. XP was also the first time we got a default wallpaper out of the box, the first time we got visual styles, you know, so first time we got a firewall. Just so many things. So many things. So yes, here we go. Let's just have a quick look at WinVer. I should have changed the resolution, shouldn't I? I didn't think about that, but never mind. This is WinVer anyway, so here we go. Version 5.1, build 2600, service pack 3, copyright 2007. But I mean, the service pack itself came in 2008. So yes, there we go. That was my Windows XP upgrade saga. And yes, I mean, I think the takeaway there for me, Red says childhood memories, nostalgia. Isn't it just? The takeaway for me was how much slower the setup procedures got the more we got, the closer we got to RTM. Never noticed that before. That's not a good sign, is it? But yes, there you go. Right, I've already asked for your ratings, haven't I? So yes, I think we've got an overwhelming positive rating for XP. And I don't, like I said, I don't think anything is ever, no version of Windows is ever going to be in people's lives to the magnitude that XP was ever again. I don't think. I think it's just that is a special once in a lifetime thing that happened there for so many reasons. Okay. Oh, okay. Right. Tim says idea for one last poll. So actually, yeah, because I've already asked for your ratings, let's do one more poll as a final thing. And this is a good question. How many people would still be using XP if Microsoft still supported it for whatever reason? So yes, let's actually find out. So if it was still getting updates, so this is meaning, not feature updates, no new features, but just like security updates, basically. If it was still getting those, would you still use it? Would you still use XP if it was getting updates? Because the problem is, even though it's lovely to use, isn't it? It looks nice, and the problem is compatibility, isn't it? Because there will be certain programs that just will not work on XP. So it would depend on what you're using your PC for, wouldn't it? But yes, feel free to let me know. Personally, and I was going to say I'm going to probably be with Sky on this. I would go for Windows. If we're talking about using unsupported version of Windows, Windows 7 would be my go-to version. And I think in a lot of ways, Windows 7 has replaced XP, hasn't it, in terms of... I mean, Windows 7 is not quite at the level of XP in terms of what we've been saying, you know, people's experience and so on, but it's pretty close, isn't it? After XP, it would be a close second, I think, for a lot of people. Right, so I feel like I need to do this. I'm going to shut down XP. So say goodbye to XP. For the moment, anyway. I'm sure we will see it again. But I'm gonna shut down XP as a mark of respect. And I'll let you listen to the lovely log off sound one more time, and then I'm going to I am going to go full screen. So just to forewarn you, that is happening in a second. Yeah, Johnny says goodbye XP for now. That's a nice way of saying it. Goodbye for now. And this is interesting. 67% of people have said yes, they would still use it. Really? Really? What about things like app compatibility? What about, like, because you can't, I mean, you could, I think you could do pretty much everything you needed to, couldn't you? But, it's just, you wouldn't be able to use, like, the latest versions of apps and stuff, would you? Like Office, you wouldn't be able to use the latest version. Browsers, I mean, there are a couple of options, but in terms of popular browsers, you wouldn't be able to use any current versions of those. So, interesting. Very interesting. So, as usual, I will be sticking around for a few minutes just at the end, just in case anyone's got any last minute questions, or if anyone wants to talk about anything before I go, I'm happy to stay and answer questions and have a little chat and so on. Yeah, so Emily says if programs kept supporting it, then yes. I mean, yeah, to be fair, if Microsoft was still supporting it, then app developers would have more incentive to still support it themselves, wouldn't they? So actually, yeah, that situation would be not as simple as I was making out, would it? Some apps might still support it if it did still have official support. And yes, that's what Tim's just said. Yes, there you go, Tim. That's a good point. Gum says, I don't really need new features, I just need something that works. And I mean, XP does do that, doesn't it? Definitely. It's now safe to turn off your computer screen was popular. That's because I turned off ACPI, isn't it? Would you like to see it again? This is quite rare to see in XP, isn't it? But look, it does have one. If you don't have ACPI, then you do get a shutdown screen like you would in Windows 9X. That's quite rare to see that. So there you go. If you'd like to see that for a little bit longer, there it is. Microsoft Windows, it is now safe to turn off your computer. Trademark, registered. So yeah, there you go. Sky says the superbar changed my life. I mean, literally, yes. I 100% agree. After Windows 7, I could not have gone back to using an older version of Windows because of the superbar, because it was so... Once you've used it, you can't... Like, going back is a downgrade, isn't it? There's, like, no two ways about it after the superbar. So I definitely agree with that. Johnny says, the stream has been a wild ride. Glad that I've enjoyed. Thank you for being here. I hope you have enjoyed it. What time are we on? 80 minutes past. Okay, so I will stay for just over 5 minutes, 25 past. I think that's a good time. So we can just have a little chat until then. Why not? Johnny says that shutdown screen is still in Vista. Actually, I don't think I may not have ever seen the Vista one. What does the Vista one look like? Windows 7.7 and Juba both say bye. Bye and thank you for being here. I hope you have enjoyed the stream. White Bear, this is a good point as well. Windows snapping. Yeah, Windows snapping is not an XP either, is it? I mean, you can get third-party apps that bring it to XP, but yeah, that's another thing that's hard to go back from, isn't it? Orbitron says I should remake the older videos, the ones I don't like. Yeah, I should. And actually, I mean, just imagine how much better the XP videos would be if I remade them. I mean, I'm not being big-headed, but in terms of audio quality, editing, I mean, I know my editing is not fantastic by any means, but I can definitely, you know, when I recorded those videos, I basically had no editing, right? I just put the intro at the beginning, and that was basically it. But I could edit out all the gaps and everything. Dogs barking. I mean, there was a bit of everything, wasn't there, in the XP videos? If anyone's new to the channel and hasn't seen them, please don't watch them because it's really embarrassing. They're from 2012. Okay, it was a different time, but yeah, there was everything. Dogs barking, computer fans at full blast. I mean, it is an experience. in itself. Open Rain, thank you so much for being here. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll hopefully see you next time. And Tim, thanks for being here. White Bear says, I remember watching your Windows 95 videos. I mean, they were slightly better, weren't they? Very slightly, I think. Tim says, love the Windows 98 SE box you got in the background. Yeah, in fact, I've got a few versions of Windows now that I have been meaning to unbox. I've done the unboxing for Windows 98, but I've also got Windows 3, which you can kind of see. I'm just waiting because there's a delay on my camera. You can kind of see on this side. That's Windows 3. And then Windows 1, which I also have, which is still in the box, because I want to record the video and have me opening the actual box that it's in. So I haven't even looked at that, basically. Orbitron's asking about 10,000 subs. So the plan is, obviously 10,000 subs is amazing. I'm going to wait until 10,240 to do the celebration stuff, just because that is Windows 10's RTM build number. So I'm going to wait a little bit past 10,000. I mean, in reality, what will probably happen is I'll do something for 10,000 and then something else for 10,240. Basically, isn't it? So, Greenlight, thank you for being here. See you next time. Emily, yes, if you've watched the 2012-13 videos, then that does make you a veteran. You and me both. LMQ says, I just started watching your channel. I still have my old XP PC and I wish I could get my passcode. Cool. I'm glad you like it. And yeah, don't watch the XP videos. That's what I'd say. Yeah, so CEO, thank you for being here. Have an excellent weekend. Yes, you too. Thank you so much for being here. I was going to say, yes, for the 10,240 videos, we're definitely going to do an upgrade saga from Windows 1 to Windows 11 for one of those two things. And then also I want to do these other two unboxing videos as well. And I need to still upload the 7850 video, which is partially finished at this point. It literally is partially finished. I just need to edit things together. So yes, I still need to do that. Yeah, Johnny, I apology. It's coming. I think I was probably a little bit ambitious, I think, when I was saying that I could do it every 2 weeks when I was working. I think that's the problem. Now that I'm back at work since about, well, early September, even though I'm working less than I was last time to try and have more time to do other stuff, it's still taking up a lot of my time because basically I need to have money as well. So it's a bit annoying. Although the good news is that next week is half term, so there's no school next week, so I will have extra time anyway. So yes, it is coming. Right, what time are we on? 10:23. Okay, so 2 minutes and then I'm gonna go. Thank you for still being here. Thank you for all the support. It's much appreciated. And yeah, Solar Strike, of course. Solar Strike has a stream on Sunday. Do you want to let me know what time it is, Solar Strike? I can't remember, sorry. Is it 12 noon your time? I don't know what time zone that is, though. But Solar Strike is doing a stream on Sunday for XP's 20th anniversary as well. I will be there because I enjoy watching Solar Strike streams. So if you want to come and join, then I will be there too. Dominic, yes, we could do a destruction stream next time. I mean, it depends on what happens with Windows 11. If there's a few like interesting things to look at there, we could do an 11 stream, or we could do something else first and then come back to 11. Orbitron is going to be playing around with Windows 7 on stream. When are you doing that for its 12th birthday? When are you doing your stream? Because I would come and watch that if I'm free as well. I don't think look, it's 10:25 and I'm still talking. Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about now. I think that in terms of Windows YouTubers, not a lot of them do live streams, do they? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I do enjoy watching live streams. So I'd like it if there were some more Windowsy streams on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Dominic, you should do YouTube streams on your destruction stuff. You should. Because yeah, I'd be living for that, more Windows streams on YouTube. There's not many, are there? So, I mean, not everyone likes live streams, do they? It depends on, some people don't like them, but I quite like them. I like the fact that they are casual, which is like what I was saying at the beginning. I like the fact that my streams are more casual than my normal videos, because you can actually talk to people and stuff. Okay, Orbitron, is your stream today? You're today at 3 PM Pacific time. Is it today that you're doing it? Yeah, Dominic, you have to do the destruction streams on YouTube. See, Sky says as well, you have to listen to Sky, because Sky is the queen of the Windows on Windows Discord server. If anyone else wants to start Windows streams, let me know, and if I'm free, I will pop in, because I'm all for supporting other people. If you want to do Windows content on YouTube and you want to start streaming, let me know, and I'm happy to give you a shout out in my streams and on the Discord, because I would like to see more of that, actually. I really would, because I personally really like watching streams. It's just like a good way to, it's something good to have on in the background, like when you're working and stuff, isn't it? A stream. And it's not like a video, like a pre-recorded video where you feel like you have to pay attention all the time. The stream is more like relaxed, isn't it? You can kind of drop in and out as you're doing stuff. Okay, so Orbitron's Windows 7 12th birthday stream is today at 3 PM Pacific time, which is 11 PM my time, which is basically in half an hour. So Orbitron, if I can, I will be there. I will be there. In fact, I will. I can. I'm going to go get a drink and eat and stuff, and then I'll come to the stream. So yes, perfect. Okay. Thank you very much for Solar Strike. Yeah, that's fine as well. Sorry. That is fine. You can mention it. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you have enjoyed my little look at Windows XP development very quickly. Well, relatively quickly, right? In honor of its 20th birthday. So happy birthday again, Windows XP. You will definitely never be forgotten. And yeah, thank you very much for being here. I will hopefully see you all in 2 weeks for the next stream, and hopefully in the 7850 video before that. Don't forget to go to windowsonwindows.com to check out the links to the socials and the shop if you want a nice mug or something, which I don't have here because, yeah, I'm just not organized enough. But yes, thank you very much. I will see you all in the next one.